I would like to be Danny Glover, but depends if we're going to go with Bundy's idea of do a random.
Yeah, I'm happy to pick, but at the same time, I think a random one would just be fun.
I can't
That's
see all
just
the
me.
names because they overlap each other. You know, I should actually have probably read the character bits, but
We have Constable
Dear.
Cliff, the troll raised by humans.
He's the face of the watch.
do you know what?
He is.
Yes. I would like to be Constable Cliff.
We have Constable
you've got
Igorina, the
Igorina.
lisp. Igorina with the
who-
lisp.
Yep, with lisp and stops people from dying, which is strange for an eagle.
Well,
That's not. They're quite.
yeah.
I'd say it's in the law. They're prized surgeons.
That's what it said in the description.
Mm-hmm. I should quickly read the description. Great. Give me the cliff notes before we start the game.
I see what you did there.
So Cliff, as a troll, Constable Cliff has heard all the jokes. People think trolls are stupid, violent, and cruel. The fact that it is usually stupid, violent, and cruel people that think this is a little consolation. Cliff doesn't mind. He approaches every person with a diamond tooth smile, determination to meet everyone halfway. His efforts have made him the face of the watch to many of Ankh-Morpork's residents have heard of him, which is some of them.
Yep.
Works a winning smile and chiseled features. And simple but not stupid.
Yeah.
That does sound like Cliff. I am quite happy to be Cliff, unless anyone else would like to be Cliff, and then I will fill in whichever role is not partaken.
I think John did show some interest, but then it depends if he turns up.
Oh no, John was struggling with that as a concept because it's like you've made him based off humans as well.
Yeah. I would like to say that you are being exceptionally racist to trolls. Not all trolls are seen as individuals who will smash your head in if you fail to comply with my demands. Request.
In case folks
Apart
haven't
from the
already
Triton
guessed
over
it,
there, who is
I am MJ the GM, and we are streaming
Come live.
currently.
Oh, no.
But this is a special event because Modiphius are releasing the Terry Pratchett's Discworld RPG in about less than a week's time, and so we've been given special early access to the Quickstart guide. So I'm actually handing the reins over to Shaun tonight, who has very graciously agreed to GM this for us. We are still waiting for our last player, and if he doesn't arrive, I might actually have to step in.
Oh no, the horror that you have to play.
Yeah, quite.
The forever GM is now playing.
So, in that case, yeah, we will approach this as we approach this, but for now, I am going to definitely hand things over to Shaun and the guys as we switch our views. So you may hear me playing, you may not. It depends on what happens in the next 5 minutes. But there you go. Discworld one shot. Here we go.
Okay.
I just realised it isn't a coincidence that it's got the one I'm picking looks like Danny Glover. Literally, the last line
Yes.
of his comment section is
Yeah.
parody from Lethal Weapon 3.
He's too dead for this stuff.
Right, I'll start first with an apology. You may hear a lot of fireworks going off. I think there's a couple of displays going up around here. So if you do hear some popping, apologies for that.
Back.
Because of the fact that I've heard that people haven't read the rules, I guess that's a good starting point to go over of what you need to know. So this system runs on an Imaginarium dice. And what that basically means is that roles are determined on how well your character is at doing a certain situation, how much skills, how much knowledge that they have in doing that. So if they're absolutely terrible, know nothing about it, and just bluffing their way through it, you get a D4. Whereas if they're an absolute expert, well within the field, that can go up to a D12.
Unless you can convince the DM otherwise.
Unless you can convince me otherwise, that is a step in the game.
It's just going to turn into an argument now. We're all going to be arguing over it. It's like, I believe that I was actually educated in such and such a thing.
It
Just 'cause
actually
it's not on the
says in the
character
rules
sheet.
Yep, it says
to
you can convince.
use language to make out that you are better at something than you are. So if you've got the particular trait that's got nothing to do with it, but you can pick up on one particular word and go, actually, if that word you change it to a different meaning, then technically I'm all right to do it.
That one
this?
Wednesday
Cut your
last
own
year, you
throat
went
nibbler.
to the wrong place, basically. So to determine how difficult a task is, I'll be rolling a d8. My dice never changes as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
And basically, you've just got to outroll me to get a success. And
He's got a
that'll
D8. I
determine-
have a D4. Statistically,
Yep.
I'm not going to beat him.
that's why you've got to try and convince me. Basically, the winner of the dice roll off determines the narrative, how things go, and where we go on from there as the story continues. I will say, don't feel like a plan that you're coming up with is ever too crazy. This is the Discworld after all. Stranger things have happened. So feel free to just go on a wild tangent and see what happens. And we'll see what happens.
So I'm guessing there's no real stats. It's just a suggestion of what we'd be good at.
So stats wise of what you're good at, if you go into your character sheets, if I've given
We've not been assigned
I've not
characters. I
given you
can't see the
access
sheet.
because I didn't know who was playing who. I'll sort that out now. So who was Bartholomew?
Please.
Alex. You're now Una. Who was Surly?
I'll take Surly.
You'll take Surly.
He did give a butterfly, 3 counts of assault. So
And who was playing Misbegot?
I'll be misbegot.
Okay. That's a bully.
Too shy to move if being looked at. So nobody look at me.
And are you Cliff or Igorina?
For me,
Yeah.
I would like to be Cliff, please.
Cliff. Alrighty.
Does that mean Matt's going to take over at Igorina?
Unless
Oh,
John
potentially.
turns up.
Potentially, yes. It seems I might actually have to for a wee bit. So let's go to the back of the Quickstart guide and have a good old look.
So, because the character sheets for this haven't been developed yet, or at least not that I could find, if you go onto the items tab, I've copied your traits into that as a list. So you should be able to see what it is your character's background says they are.
I did not see anything in the item.
You didn't see anything in the item? You should. I can.
Nope. I have nothing.
So you've got equipment, and you've got quantity, and you've got Ink, PowerPoint status, and underneath that you've got a list of stuff.
Oh, on the actual character sheet. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
not on the character. Yeah, I was in the it was in the items tab.
Haha.
Nothing in there.
I've got my description of his backstory with a quantity next to each bit, but no idea what the stats are.
Those are the
There aren't
stats.
any. That's it. That is the stats.
Your stats are determined by what your background is and who your character is. And if you can convince me that you spent a week training on something else, then fair enough, you can add that to it.
No, yeah, I'm looking at characteristics. I'm just like, how does that translate into it?
So, as an example, one of his characteristics is always hits what he should be aiming at. So, basically, if you aim at something else and fire at that, but you should be aiming at something else, you can say, well, I wasn't aiming at that, but I want to hit this.
Yeah, I meant for like strength, con, int, size, power, dex, charisma.
Yeah, those don't
just-
exist.
Yeah, they don't exist.
There are none.
It's just a generic character sheet that's been used for this.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Your
The
character,
only numerical thing you've got is luck.
yeah,
And
We'll
that starts on
to luck
question mark.
shortly. Right. So again, I'll also encourage you to use puns and plays on words. I'll absolutely give bonuses out for those.
Oh dear.
So that'll knock you up a step if you can think of a pun to relate to it.
That's all right. We'll get some
Just
dwarves
cause
to
everybody
hit
in that
shortly.
time.
Fantastic.
The other thing you can do is enlist help, which can also improve your dice roll. So that is getting somebody else in your team of watchmen to help out assist in the situation.
Can I call upon the campaign for equal heights?
I would like to point out that our combined height is average.
I mean, if you
Mine's
can
not.
prove that they're in the area, yeah.
I would like to point out that our average height combined, or our combined height is average. We are all equal, no matter how tall or short you are.
Yep. Chop them
Just
off the
because I
kneecap.
can see over the crowd in front of me and you can't see past their kneecaps does not mean that we have a disadvantage when looking for targets.
I just realised we need to get Constable Misbegot and Ampersands like a promotion of some sort, so he can do classes like. This is like stealth classes. You just put him in the front of them because he can't move when people look at him.
Yeah.
That'd be the whole class. Like being still as a statue.
It's like the
Boom.
opposite of
Yeah.
a weeping angel, isn't he?
Yes.
Um,
Some
Well,
height
actually,
for
no,
more
he's
equal
a
than
weeping
others.
angel, yeah. You
Would
can't
he
move
be the
when
opposite?
you don't look at him.
I was going to
Yeah,
say
but-
he'd be exactly, not
He
opposite.
can move when people are looking at them. He's just got severe social anxiety, so he
Yeah.
really doesn't want to.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
also
Please don't
doesn't
look at
head
me. I need the
towards them.
toilet.
Oh,
Stop
poor
watching
guy.
me.
Poor
I need
guy.
to go.
He's just peeing against the lamppost and someone looks at him and he's like, hey!
he's wearing a nappy just for when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's made of stone. I don't even know if he needs to pee.
You know, if I carry this lisp on outside of this game, I'm going to blame you guys.
That was the plan all along.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're welcome.
Sucks to be you.
Star trekking across the universe.
I'm the
I'm the
consequence
target
why.
That's it.
The warning at the start of every
I
stream.
don't-
Sorry,
I
I promise you I've not had a stronk.
I already am sitting, thank you very much.
Just imagine when if you kept the list on and have to pronounce Gressel.
How fast
No,
I
they're
stream
aware.
Thatched Star is up to you. Yeah, this is not going to get less funny.
Should I say?
no,
Hey,
it's
doing
not.
Thazanan with a lisp.
Gaval Fathernan. What's so funny about that? Anyway, let's let the man get on with what he was trying to say.
Sorry.
Okay, so
I do love the description in. Oh, sorry, Carol. Yeah.
luck points. So
Oh, yeah.
luck is a measure of your character's favour with the lady, and you can spend those in two ways. So you can decrease the severity of a consequence, or help another player with a test, and both of those will cost one luck each time.
Where are we putting luck on the sheet out of interest?
It's PowerPoints, isn't it?
Should have-
PowerPoints, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should have a maximum of, well, it should be 4, but I've left it at 5, and you've currently got
yeah.
0.
Sorry, I just saw the bit at the bottom where it's like 5 or 0,
So you can gain luck through piquing the interest of the lady. Basically, what that means is if I see good role playing, ridiculous plans, awful puns, anything weird coming out of you guys, I may award a point, or just if the situation seems right, I suppose, is hand those out to players to use.
I'm guessing I'm going to be carried most of the time.
Spectacular.
Don't worry, Constable. My gentle hand will ensure that you are protected at all times.
Oh God.
If I squeeze too tightly, please shout out loudly and I will look at you and release.
We need to get Cliff a pirate hat, then he can have a stone parrot.
Yeah.
I think you will find that if I wear a pirate hat, it will be deemed inappropriate as it is misrepresenting the pirates of Ankh-Morpork and the surrounding areas.
Are there any pirates?
And disrespectful to the watch, sir.
Yes,
Does anyone have a giant sponge?
A tricorn is not considered general uniform of the watch.
Plus, I can't frigging get up there in order to fit the damn thing on your head.
Don't want to be a pirate. I'm wearing chainmail at sink.
It is an equal opportunities investment, for if you were to leave the watch, you would have to relinquish your chainmail as it is watch property.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
It's going to be a long
Have we heard anything from John?
Nope.
Nope. Still, I
Probably
can't stop
dozed
lisping.
off.
Still on, still on idle.
Still on red.
I think that means it's yours.
I think it means it's mine.
Wait, don't say it.
Indeed.
Anything else for the rules?
No, that basically covers it.
I know
Other
that
than,
there
I
are four different
suppose-
type of consequence if you do fail a roll, aren't there?
Yeah, but we'll get to that. What's that?
Consequences.
I did love the bit where it says that they can't envision anyone dying in this pre-made adventure, and then put an asterisk saying that is not a challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Please. It's not like we're going to attract the Athafins anytime soon, is it?
So technically, every game, everyone who runs this pre-done one will fail that because there is a zombie.
Well, yes, but he
All
doesn't.
right, then re-deaded.
Yeah,
Honestly.
He's still killable.
No,
can still be
no one's dying while I'm around.
I mean, which one of us
What's wrong
is
with being dead?
Everything.
I'm the designated
watch.
murderer.
Yeah, the watch is an equal opportunities venture. We have clearly changed the rules in memorandum so allow the undead to serve loyally within the city watch. I believe that Constable Igorina was merely stating that she does not wish for any other members of the watch to die in service.
Not unless, of course, you want me to be able to raise them again afterwards, but that's entirely your choice.
You sound like you're eating a toffee.
Hey,
A little bit.
I moved.
maybe because I've been
forward
listening to
motion
too much
animation.
sleep token.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yes, most people who aren't dragons are especially drawn to them for their internal consternation. Great.
Is equipment a thing?
No one's
No.
constipated, are they? Oh, consternation. Right, sorry.
Or constable. Constable consternation.
I think they're on traffic watch.
Ah,
All
Take
right.
it away, sir.
So as I said, this is going to be a bit theatre of the mind. So I'll just basically set basic scenes so we can remember where we are.
Yep.
Take us through those as we move along the story. But other than that, you can explore as you will in your minds.
you're
So-
mine.
Smashing.
As members of the Watch, you've been ordered to head to the Sunshine Sanctuary for Sick Dragons to investigate a break-in. Your orders were given to you personally by the commander of the Watch himself, Sir Samuel Vimes. You remember his words well. He was particularly clear that all 3 points were equally important. Number 1, find out what happened. Number 2, protect the people of Ankh-Morpork. And number 3, don't cause more paperwork than is absolutely necessary.
Okay.
He also mentioned that if you need help during your investigation, you should speak to Sergeant Angua. She's taken a day off in the bucket over on Leam Street, so don't expect her to be happy about it if you go and see her. So,
Ho.
you find yourself standing in the neat cobbles of Morphic Street, blinking in the morning sun. The wrought iron gates before you bear the words, "Here be dragons." If that wasn't clear enough, you were in the right place. A paper mache statue of a dragon with a slot in its forehead sits right in the gate. It appears to be holding a big draggled sign that reads, "Don't let my flame go out."
I believe that a paper mache creature on fire would be a violation of the fire codes. We probably should make sure that the fire does not spread from its mouth.
I mean, surely there should be a
Does it
bucket of
cast-
sand or something in case of fire next to it.
Give me for
Does it
stating
cast
the
a spell
obvious.
Um,
But
I
aren't
was
we
thinking,
here to...
Wouldn't that be a public violation? That's all I was just thinking. Against fire codes. You know how the boss likes to go with these regulations. Surely we need to report this.
But
I do
Vime said
believe-
nothing about reporting fire hazards.
I do
said
believe that will conflict with item 3 of our agenda. As much as it
Exactly.
should be documented because it is a violation of code, it would cause too much paperwork and would be a hassle for the rest of the watch.
But would it cause less paperwork than if it actually got set on fire? Or would
No,
that be down
because
to the
that would
next
then be
patrol?
treated. That would then be treated by the fire department and not the watch.
I mean,
Okay.
if you want to give me an
So-
investigation check to see how flammable this is, I'll happily take it.
So we're not even
Investigation. Off you go then.
We're not even going to investigate the world. We're just going to sit there and look at this.
Paper mache
Game
Jagran. Nice.
So what
While
dice
they're
do I
on-
roll?
Well, how good of an investigator are you?
Yeah,
I'm the
thoroughly.
designated noticer.
Hey, I've been back in the days when you walk these streets time and time again. I know a fire hazard when I see one.
Actually,
For
Heath,
this stuff.
You are a fire hazard.
he is the
That's only
iconographer.
after.
Yeah.
That's only after I was done out of my retirement. I still knew fire hazards because in case we needed to set them.
Okay, I'll give you a D12 then. Let's see, you're pretty confident you're an
convincing?
expert,
On the sorry, slash hard.
and you've got to beat. I think I rolled as you, but you got to beat an 8. A 4. And you get an
Hey.
Hey.
8. Okay, so yeah, you go over to this thing and start examining it, and honestly, it seems pretty old. It's been out in the rain quite a lot of Ankh-Morpork. Always just sitting in the street. It's absorbed a lot of moisture, a lot of goop, I suppose, over time. And you think it'll have a pretty hard time setting this thing on fire. But speaking of the rains of Ankh-Morpork, you notice some wheel ruts running past it outside the loading bay. And they seem pretty fresh, suggesting that a carriage was here last night.
Oh.
Do they seem like they're going
AM?
through the gate, or just like it was parked outside the gate?
It looks like it goes up to the loading bay and then leaves again. We can deal with that.
Fifth.
I'm going to set up my iconographer. My
That thing.
my iconograph machine.
That's the name of the imp
And
that's
I'm
inside
going
it.
to ask the imp inside it, Ico, to paint a picture of the tracks and then paint a picture of the statue. And I'm going to put my smallest coin in the statue because it always pays to be good to the boss's wife.
Okay.
If you say so.
The imp grumbles about it a little bit. It's not very artistic. There's no real interest in this scene. Who's going to come and view this? He wants a fine work of art to display, but since you're asking and you're
You
his
do
boss,
this one, and we'll find someone to get a good picture in a bit. Maybe
that
the
changes
light
somewhat.
glinting off that puddle over there.
What about actually? No, we're going to be going inside. You might be able to take some pictures of some dragons.
True. Very true.
You would
Spectacular.
have
Lovely.
to ask
They
for
breathe
consent
fire out the
before you take the
front.
photo of the dragon. I do not believe that they would appreciate it if you took their photo without their knowledge.
I'm not
Oh,
a fan of
coffee.
dragons.
Are we seriously considering asking dragons for consent?
No, we would ask. We would ask
That
the
sounds
lady
like
who runs the.
paperwork.
I'd say we asked the lady who runs the establishment. As you said, we don't want to be rude to the Mrs. Boss.
Well, if you insist.
I'm not asking if
Okay.
it's dragons.
So yeah, after a few moments, the imp slides out a couple of photos. One of the statue of the dragon, and one of the root marks in the mud.
Well,
Do we have an estimate of how long ago this track was appeared?
when was the last time it rained?
Now
That was the GM.
It's more pork. It's always either raining or it isn't.
Nice.
I love that.
Possibly within a day.
You estimate, I think, that it was roughly, last night.
Okay.
Well, okay, no.
In the morning.
Let's
What's
do this.
behind your ears?
I've got
If
applied
you want to
forensics.
investigate further, let's see how good you are at determining how old some marks are in some mud. So what have you got? Forensics?
I've got applied forensics, so I'm going to use my applied forensics to investigate.
Okay.
And yes, I'm deliberately using as many words with S's in them as possible.
The question we need to ask is, do we know that this cart was related to the incident that happened, or are we just taking pictures of information that may or may not be relevant to the
Are you
case?
suggesting I'm just taking the piss?
I am not implying that. I am merely stating that the information at present does not correlate with the information we have found and may or may not be beneficial to our investigation.
We don't know what we're going at first. We don't actually know what is up yet, so it might be. And if we go and find out it would have been pertinent, but don't do anything, then it might already be gone. And then we have to explain to the captain how we didn't. Well, no, his lordship, why we did not take any evidence at the time, despite the
We
fact
got
that we walked
pictures.
past it.
Let's go look inside.
I
Exactly.
believe Constable Igorina would like to take a sample before we do so,
So
and we should not interfere. We should not interfere with her investigation and procedures until it has been completed, for it may spoil the evidence.
I just realised
That's
someone
easy for
rolled
you to
for
say.
me with the
That's the
that's me.
narrative. Narrative.
You've got 3 to beat. And I'll
think
give you a
you're
D12 with your forensics.
Yeah, I think you've
D4.
got the character selected.
D12.
Uh,
I was going to
D12
say,
Forensics.
sounds a bit low, doesn't it?
Got a 3 to beat, and I'll give you a luck point for the lisping because it's getting fun.
Woo! Hey! Smashing!
Mapping.
I do believe that this happened last night.
Yep, you're absolutely certain this was last night. As you're digging through the various layers of sludge, you can clearly pick out a couple of different days' worth of build-up, and you can see that last night's build-up was broken, and there's fresh stuff that sort of runs down over the different layers, and you're able to clean that away and pick out the different days' worth of build-up.
Who knew that Ankh-Morpork had substrata?
You did, apparently.
It's that
I mean,
I
I
thought.
thought
Never surprised.
I mean, admittedly, that's what we used to refer to some of the drunks back in the day after we walked over them.
I'll also give you that while you're performing this, you find a discarded newspaper. And there's an article in that on the Alchemist's Guild exploding. There's been a freak downpour of rain happening around noon, and charitable efforts for the Golems Trust are going well.
Means we need to get as much outside evidence as possible. Oh, that means we're on a
Aha.
time limit.
Who feels stupid now, eh?
Hey, I was already. It was my argument that we.
Call the
take
trolls
this.
stupid. That's racist.
You are
Calling the trolls
perfectly,
stupid.
you are perfectly fine to have your opinion. However, I disagree with the sentiment. I may be a troll, but I am not stupid.
How about instead we just proceed inside and see if we can find something that's worth actually documenting?
Is there something we need to ring at the gate to get in, or is it just?
Or
open?
maybe ask questions.
We can knock on the door.
I mean, we're in front of a gate. That's why I was just like, is
Yep.
it open, or do we have to
No,
like ring?
it's open. You can proceed through it if you wish to.
Okay.
As the most
I say it's
As the
fine,
most
shut up.
persuasive of the group, would you like me to lead the conversation to gain access to the facility?
With your
Well,
winning
well, the door is
personality,
not
I don't see how we could lose.
Yeah, if you want to talk
The
about that,
door
I'll
is
take a little look around the grounds.
Just
Okay,
remember
that's
there are dragons.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
I don't
yes.
like dragons. They
I
always seem
know,
to come
I'm
up to me and
flannel.
want to talk to me.
It's funny that you should mention that because as the group heads on through the gate, you are met by one of the residents of the sanctuary.
Oh,
There's a
fit.
golden deceiver, which is a good watch dragon, and it seems to be laying either sleeping or unconscious just inside the gate.
Well,
So it's a
nice to see
golden
someone
deceiver.
is doing the job that they're paid for.
A golden deceiver is a type
Alright.
of dragon.
Hello, sir/madam. I am here on behalf of the Watch. We would like to ask you a couple of questions about what happened here yesterday.
I'm going to continue walking up to the main part of the building.
He can have a conversation with a sleeping serpent if he wishes.
I'm not
However,
disputing that. Continue marching onwards.
Yeah, so the dragon just doesn't respond at all. He's completely unconscious. You can
I
check
do
that out if
believe
you want.
that this individual may have been assaulted because they are unconscious and not responding to my questions.
Would you like to try and assist him?
It's nighttime and it's a sleeping dragon.
It's morning time, but
It's
yeah.
fine.
Do you know that the individual is sleeping? Have you carried out a thorough assessment to confirm that they are asleep?
I think you should do exactly that, Cliff. Off you go. I'll
I am not-
supervise.
Let me check it out.
I don't
What's
care.
that saying? Do not disturb the sleep of dragons, for you're crispy and tasty.
So,
To prevent Cliff from doing anything daft, as designated noticer, I notice that he is asleep.
Well, you can't argue with that logic, can you?
well, he's definitely not responding, which does seem a little bit more than sleep if you want to notice that.
I
This
notice
is
he's
entirely what
more than
you
sleeping.
wish.
Notice better then. Go on, get a good
Go
notice thing in.
Yeah, get a good.
Aiko, wake up! I need another picture. This time you get to use the yellow paint.
Don't use too much of that stuff. We have to go get back to the watch to get more.
It's too late now. He's so excited and he's only starting to cover his easel in yellow. He doesn't even know what he's painting yet, but he doesn't get to use this one very often. It's expensive.
It's
I
a dragon.
I really
That's
want
good.
Constable Misbegot and Ampersand to now jump in front of the camera and then realise that there's someone looking at him when he does so, which then means that he just suddenly stops moving.
Which is fine because you're now the perfect height to use as a
As a
proper-
It's a reference
Oh.
point. Yes.
We're
As
going to
much
need
as
another
I would-
requisition form. See, back in my day, we just took that type of stuff if we needed it.
As much as I would like to see if this individual is not dead or asleep, my hands are very big. Therefore, it would not be pertinent for me to disturb the crime scene.
You'll need a medic to check it out.
Fine, I'll handle it. Have you got the picture yet?
You're a medic.
He's really taking his time on this one, getting every little detail.
Ooh, I
It's
like that scale you're
preservative.
drawing.
It's really being embellished as well. I think.
You have clearly stated that we need to look at the entirety of the scene. We have found an individual unconscious and you choose to ignore them. That is a direct violation of the wording that you just stated.
I will,
This is
however,
like
point
a
out that I don't remember there. I don't remember there being unicorns or rainbows in the background.
Yeah, there's unicorns,
Right.
rainbows, flames. He's really
Constable
embellished.
Igorina, would you be able to
Hello?
check to see if the dragon is healthy and just simply asleep and not just rendered unconscious?
Cliff,
Aiko,
would pick me
can
up,
you
please,
sit-
Cliff?
You can
For
see.
flip's sake! Is it
I would be
breathing?
more-
Yeah,
If it's breathing, then it's
Actually,
still alive!
It
I
may
think
still
the-
be unconscious if it is breathing, I have been told previously.
thought the implication was that it's more than asleep potentially.
I
Oh.
shall pick you up, Constable Misbegot.
Well-
You can sit on my shoulder.
with all
Back
the
in
noise
the
that you've
dragon.
been making around this dragon, it hasn't stirred in the slightest.
That is a bit
That's an ill
suspicious.
dragon.
See?
Dragons
How
normally come up
about-
to me and start nuzzling me.
Has
Before
the
we
picture done
actually-
yet?
Before Thurley's little assistant is done taking pictures, how about we check in with who actually runs this establishment before we start poking dragons in ways they might not like?
That's fair.
I was merely stating that as we were told that time is of the essence and it may rain, all evidence outside the building may or may not be disturbed.
You want to check around the dragon in case there might be something that indicates why it's asleep.
Oh, for flip's sake.
If-
Fine!
I
I will
think
forensic the
you
dragon.
need
Just go and speak to the person in charge.
I'll go up and speak. You start checking for things because I think I get what Mr. Constable Cliff's getting at. Because if it was asleep now, it might have been drugged then.
Fine,
It's going to be
fine.
a watch dragon.
Just understand this. If I die, think only this of me. I'll be back to get you.
Would you
That's
like
not a
me to
threat.
Well, I am
You're an
more than
eagle, aren't you already dead?
I am more than happy to have conversations with the dragon on your behalf if you wish. However, I am not capable of checking them because my hands are too big.
It's fine. I'll handle the dragon. We're taking pictures anyway. Go talk to people. Apart from
We're
anything else,
in
wanna
the
pick
place for
it up?
sick dragons. It's obviously a sick dragon. I
Since
noticed such
I've-
things.
Since I've already done a forensics check, I'll let interview with Boss go first. We can find out how I did afterwards.
Okay. So half the group, I suppose, heads over to the main entranceway, and you're greeted by Rosie Devant Mollet. She's the head dragon keeper here, and welcomes you all to the sanctuary. She obviously recognizes you as some of Vimes's lot, and that's all she'll ever refer to you as. Not bothering in the slightest to learn any of your names. But she welcomes you inside if you want to come and examine and find out. But currently they're in a bit of turmoil, as a lot of the dragons have escaped their cages and are loose about the place.
I blame Peter.
Hello, sir/madam. Would you like assistance from the watch in ensuring that your premises is secured so that nothing goes awry?
No, the Ammers have got this.
So, what's the story?
Well, there was a break-in.
Okay.
We're not entirely sure what's missing yet, but we're currently working on rounding the dragons up. I believe
Do you know what?
finding out is your job, isn't it?
When do you have cart deliveries out of curiosity? We did find some tracks that lead up to a loading bay. That happened roughly around about last night.
We get coal deliveries quite often.
What would be the latest that you have a coal delivery?
I don't handle that. That's all Lady Sybil.
Did you get the number of that donkey cart?
Might need to speak to her ladyship then, just to confirm that, because if this was something that wasn't meant to be there, I think we know how they got away with what they got away with.
Well, unfortunately, she's not around at the moment. Away on business.
Would there be someone that would have access to that kind of schedule that would cover it while she's not here?
I can get one of the Emmas to look into it once everything's back under control.
What was taken?
We don't know.
She just said she didn't know.
It's your job, isn't it?
Nice.
We're currently wrangling the dragons up, and we've got to watch it.
I was just watching for the reaction, just to say repeat the things a few times and see if the story changes.
It's rather rude to try and blame me.
No, I'm not blaming you.
Please do not take offence from the detective. He is not fully versed in the lines of conversation, madam. I am pretty sure that he did not mean you any offence.
Well,
Are any dragons missing?
there's several not currently in their cages.
There is one dragon currently outside that is
I'm-
refusing to answer questions as well.
Zillie's gonna pick up
Refusing to
the.
answer questions. The only one outside should be Roughly. He's usually a very chirpy little fellow. He just loves to watch and be involved, and will come right up to you.
I clearly said to the rest of the group that there was something suspicious,
I
madam.
was supporting this. Igorina, please could you go check now?
Has
I'm
I
already
finished
doing
the
it!
picture yet?
Good.
I think this is a good opportunity to switch back and ask Igorina how good of dragon handling are you?
Well, fit.
Your case.
Um,
State your
I'll help
case.
you with that.
I'd say being a Igor, surely you'd have a good wide range of anatomy at least.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, vivisection and all.
And because two
You'd
left
probably-
feet but the heart of a lion, I probably got more bravery than Fence, to be honest. So
That's true.
So I'll give you a hand with looking after the dragon. I'm
looking
shades.
after,
I can
I'm
handle
looking at the
weird
dragon.
things.
Let's just
Okay.
give it an examination and see what is we can see. Oh boy.
It's a dragon.
I'm feeling that
Definitely
you're
a
not
dragon.
very good at this, but probably not totally useless. So I'm thinking D6 at the moment.
Thank you, I was thinking the same thing.
Ooh, 10.
Ah, well,
Only
here
a
we go
three.
then. I've got a
That's right.
50-50 chance of not getting eaten.
Yeah, you
Spectacular.
also win draws as well. I didn't say that earlier.
Well, pray for me. Oh!
Oh no. You're like, he's dead.
That's not, that's
CPR.
not how
He
you
wasn't,
handle a
but he,
dangerous creature.
Can I at least
This is
spend... Sorry, go on.
No, go on. You were going to say
I was going to spend a power point, a luck point, just to make
luck
this
point.
a little less than it would otherwise have been.
Less
Can
than
I
it
help?
otherwise would have been. Okay. Yeah, I'll allow the help.
Right, what do I have to roll to help?
Help it.
I wouldn't poke
assume
it there
it-
if I were you.
I'd assume it's from the same die, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
Thank God.
Dragons are a lot like big rats, right? Don't poke it there. That's
Yeah.
where it's gonna bite you.
So,
And the sharp bits are over here.
What if you
Igorina was
Go on.
about to just lift up his head and examine it, try and check for a pulse and make sure he's okay. But thankfully, Surly points out that doing that to a dragon is likely to cause of its glands to ignite and spark, which would have resulted in a dragon explosion. So
They do
That was-
explode quite easily.
yeah, that was
Yikes.
the danger averted at the best possible moment. As you do lift its head up, though, you're able to find a bottle of what appears to be whiskey. As you check the label, it seems to be Bear Huggers whiskey, known to be sold at a place called the Lamp and Needles.
Range?
Seems like somebody's made this dragon or let this dragon drink an entire bottle, and he's now just.
Where was it made? Sorry,
Comatose.
where was it made?
It's from the Lamp and Needles. It's about the only place in Ankh-Morpork that you guys know that would stock this type of whiskey.
Good, someone's
Especially in
taking
that
notes.
size of bottle.
Whiskey? Do dragons drink whiskey?
Aiko, can you change your picture? I need a bottle of whiskey on it.
Igorina just poses with the bottle of whiskey.
No, I need the dragon drinking a bottle of whiskey.
Oh, is it safe for me to put the thing back in its mouth?
Don't put it back in its mouth. The imp can figure it out. It's fine.
Fine.
Aiko, can you do that?
He looks at you rather disgruntled, breaks his easel, and then starts again.
Cannot work under these conditions.
I
for
do
God's
believe,
sake, you stupid imp.
Constable, it is not right to shout at individuals. Imps are people too.
Well,
shouting
strictly
at it.
speaking, imps are imps, not human people.
So
Don't call them people. They get miffed.
Imps are creatures. Imps are creatures themselves, and creatures should all be treated with respect.
Nice
Beings
save.
of equal beings of equal import and intelligence, like gargoyles.
So with that, I'll let you collect up roughly and take him in to see Rosie. And as you do, a dwarven lady comes from the back of the sanctuary to report that there seems to be 13, then spots roughly and reports that there are 12 missing dragons, as
Wow.
all the other dragons are now back in their cages.
Any specific species of dragons, or is it just you're missing 13, 12? What was that?
Have you got any pictures?
Well, we don't keep pictures of them. Taking photos of them can sometimes excite them too much and cause them to explode.
I'm detecting a theme.
Could you take us to their
Oh yeah,
just
just
like
like
true
explode. I
Pacific
noticed that.
I said, could you take us to the enclosures of the ones that were missing?
Yes, yeah. Follow Emma through to the back, and she'll take you through.
Okay.
Can we have the names and descriptions of them?
Well,
Probably
I mean,
Bob,
to
dragon,
be honest,
Steve, dragon.
any kind of like dragon outside of here is going to be quite noticeable.
Yep. So she starts going through some basic dragons. So there's a couple of Nothing Fjord blues. Another golden deceiver seems to have wandered
2
off or
times blue,
missing.
1 times gold.
A couple of Jessington's deceivers.
What colour are they?
Um,
Green.
let's go
golden,
with
I think.
yes.
Oh,
They're
bronze.
usually quite small. A well-behaved dragon, to be fair. The Jessingtons aren't too bad to be missing. Well, as much as a dragon on the loose is not a bad thing.
Okay.
That
one-
doesn't work.
The enclosures for all the ones that are taken, and are they all in the same area, or are they dotted about, looking like someone specifically chose them?
No, they're dotted about all over.
Okay, so that means it would have required them to individually go. Actually, these dragons would have been in the same spot all at once at one point last night, or would they have all been obviously closed up, locked up in their enclosures by a certain time?
The Emma says that we usually keep them in their enclosures. That there'd be no reason to keep them all together or move them around. That just agitate some of them.
Okay, so they were specifically taken. Okay.
Just off the top of
So-
my head, is there anything that these dragons can be used for?
I mean,
the Emma just shrugs and says, "Well, it's a dragon."
breathe fire.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Could it cause an
Okay.
Could they cause an explosion at the
Accepted.
alchemist lab?
No, I believe that was the other day. The dragons were all accounted for at that time.
Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
put my thinking cap on to think like a criminal, specifically remembering the good old days, and that the law is more of a guideline, really. If I was going to rob this place in the most efficient way possible, how would I start and how would I end it? Basically, put together a route of how you do it to minimize time, because obviously getting that many dragons together, you probably would have had to at least knock them out in some way, shape, or form. And you don't want to dilly dally when one of them could wake up and then set the whole lot off.
It's
So basically, thinking like
DFI
a criminal,
time.
how would I do this in order to pretty much do it quickly in and out?
Looks like they used whiskey. I noticed you had the bottle.
I think whiskey is just roughly his favourite treat. The Emma pipes up with it.
Do they all eat? Do they all eat from the same feeding bowls?
For the sake of the GM, but set the difficulty for my role, please.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to get out of it. You just trying to
basically, I'm
think
trying to
like a
work
criminals.
Well, basically, I'm trying to put together how they would have done it to work out a time frame is then we don't start looking for things at that point in time. So we know roughly how old the tracks are, and then we know how much of a head start they potentially have, or how much time we have before the tracks will
Boom.
wear down. Like the mud would only last a certain amount of time, so you could potentially extrapolate how far out the coat, based off the coating that's already there of the tracks, how far those tracks could have gone before the mud from this place runs out. So we could give an idea of roughly how far out they would have gone, at least as a minimum amount of distance from this
Is
place.
anyone else confused by what the detective's saying?
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you a D4 because I have no idea what the hell.
All
you're
right, I'll
saying.
rephrase. I'm basically trying to put together a timeline, so I know roughly how far, at least at a minimum, how far away we need to start looking.
Okay.
Would
Well,
it not be more beneficial for
I
us to
can
try
give you
and
that
gain
with-
evidence before we look into this? Because otherwise we are going on assumptions with no information.
As far as
That's what the
timeline
watchdog
goes,
says.
you're already well aware because this was reported that there was a break-in last night.
Oh no, I mean specifically what time. Don't worry, ignore it, forget it.
However,
At the minute, as an aside, Alex, you are taking one-on-one and trying to get free at the moment. You have very little info to start trying to align this timeline and going, how did they get the dragons out, etc. We have literally just turned up at the door and you're already trying to Sherlock Holmes it.
We know it happened last night.
Yeah,
That's it.
as far as timeline, I can give it you without a roll. You know it happened last night.
All right.
Right.
That's
Okay. We have a clue. We need to go to the lamp and needle.
Lamp and needles. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
let's
where
go to
the
that pub.
whiskey is likely to have been procured.
And find out
Would
who
you,
bought this bottle.
Excuse, would you have bought Ruffy, was his name, some whiskey last night?
Oh no, he never drinks on the job.
Well, he
Um,
did last night. I noticed this.
All right, I'll rephrase another question. Can we look around the enclosure to see if there's any traces of anything that could have been used to subdue said dragons? Because they would have need to have kept them quiet
That's
and
an
not
idea.
exploding.
there you go. I've done my
Um,
suicidal aspect for this, this
We'll be
hour.
looking in empty. We'll be
Okay.
looking in empty enclosures. We're not going to look in the full ones because they're still there.
Oh, I'll help. I'll come with you. I'll land on the detective's shoulder and go with him to be helpful and noticing things. Because doing nothing is not the
How
same as not doing
small
anything.
are you actually? On Cliff, I could get, but on me, it might be a bit weighty.
Okay, so you're examining dragon enclosures, so you're not very familiar with dragon enclosures,
I'm looking for
but
substance.
you are an
wouldn't-
investigator. So D8 versus D8 at the moment, unless you can convince
okay.
me.
I'll help. You see, as a noticer.
D8s. I don't know what would. Yeah, well, potentially use as a something to keep them asleep. So I'm good with.
You're
the
not entirely sure what is out of place and isn't out of place unless it's
Until
until. Okay. So, as you start going through one of the cages, you notice a large feeding bucket covered in coal dust. Seems to be completely empty. This seems to be a common occurrence in every single one that you go into. Perhaps food could have been used to entice these dragons away. And as you're following this route around, one of the Emmas does indeed confirm to you that they should have had a coal delivery this morning that hasn't turned up, and that usually comes from Nobblers and Sons.
Oh,
That's something else to look into.
there we go. I had a question and I've forgotten it. Oh well, it'll come back to me.
One of the other many Emmas also notices in a bit of a panic as you go into the last cage. This is usually where they keep Gunter. Is a particularly large, fine species of pixie-faced smut. a breed of
Oh.
dragon that requires particularly extra care. If he doesn't receive his medicine exactly 8 hours, every 8 hours, he could explode.
Okay.
I've been told I resemble a pixie face smut.
Where would you get this type
I
of
can see that.
medicine?
We make it in house.
Okay, so there's no way they could get that from anywhere else in the city.
You
When did
missing
he have
any
his last
supply?
bit?
No. No, it's this one thing that we keep under lock and key, and only label city. Lady Sybil keeps the keys.
How
How
long have we
valuable would
got
these
until he
dragons be to
explodes?
others?
Oh, that was two
I'll-
questions there. Give the woman a space.
I've never tried to sell a dragon. I don't really know the street value of one. What was the other
Boss,
question?
how much is a dragon worth on the black market?
I would like to point out that selling dragons is a despicable practice, and dragons have their own right to choose who their masters are.
Unless
On an
someone else-
unrelated topic, how long have we got until they explode? Due to lack of meds?
Depending on the
8
time,
hours.
depending on the time of which the dragon was taken, we have between 8 hours and 0 minutes.
No, it is,
Well,
yes.
This can be given by a check of his chart, and Emma starts frantically reading and can tell you that he's still got about 7 hours.
Oh, good.
Okay, then.
We better make a move on
Well,
that.
that does mean that the crime took place at less than 1 hour ago.
Or that just this dragon's been missing for that amount of time.
One last thing: is there any sign that the store where this medicine is kept has been tampered with, or someone's
No.
going to break into it?
No, it was all still locked up fully. But Rosie will hand you a vial to take with you just in case you find it.
Was about to ask.
and,
Oh, you can hold on to that. That's more your type of thing, I think.
and the hourglass from the chart as well, with its sand ticking away because it has to be very precise.
So if we let the dragon explode, we'd find the culprits quite quickly.
Unless, of course,
I do
it was
not
just
believe-
got out.
Yeah, I do not believe that is also an ethical decision that we should be making.
Oh, we got a decision to make. Do we go to one
Pub.
place, then another, or do we split up?
We have a second location to go to?
The coal place. Their delivery didn't turn up.
So they might be missing a cart, the one that turned up, but took dragons instead of coal.
Mm.
So we got the pub and the coal supplier.
I'd say the coal merchants.
Go with that.
Okay. So
Check them first, and then go to the pub.
Yeah, the pub's not moving.
Yeah.
Heading
They
over
clean all the
to
coal depot.
You never know.
Nobblers and Thuns, yes. And I totally didn't choose that because of the list.
because it's got more S's and E's.
I have been meaning to ask Constable Igorina, is the lisp accidental, or is it just something that has developed naturally over your many years of service?
You taking the piss?
I am not taking the piss, Constable. I am merely asking questions to improve my own understanding of your personal life, if you are willing to divulge that information to me. If you do not wish to do so, I am quite happy not to hear the answer, and I apologize if I have made any mistake or offense by asking this question.
I'm going to go with, I don't know this character well enough to be able to formulate an acceptable answer, so I'm just going to pass it over to someone who does know. I'll go with probably been born with it, so.
Okay. So you head over to Warfinger Street, and on the outside of Nobblers and Sons, it's a neat little shop front with fancy brass lettering, but you find it locked up, despite all other businesses in the area being open. There seems to be a young troll child outside the front of it, complaining rather loudly that the coal shop should be open by now.
Range?
Would you like me to see if I can get someone from inside to respond to a gentle knock at the door?
You do that. I'm going to go take a look around the back.
I'm just going to stand back here and see what happens, because I expect it's going to be a laugh.
I'm kind of stuck going with Constable Cliff because everyone's looking at me.
Do not worry, Constable. I am confident that nothing will happen with a gentle knocking on the door to see if the proprietor is inside his residence. Their
I noticed
residence.
that
I
you
do
are-
apologise.
Okay, so how gentle is this gentle of knocking?
It's a troll, so yes.
Full on hammer at the door. Okay.
I will be
Bam.
as gentle as physically possible that a troll can be. Bang!
This feels like an opposite action. But okay. I'm thinking D8 versus D8 to see how gentle you can be to not break the door.
Biffing. Oh, hey!
Turns out it's pretty good.
This is a very strong door.
Yeah, it shakes a little bit, but it holds true. You can hear a sort of muffled shout from inside.
Hello, I am a
Someone's in trouble.
representative of the Watch. I wish to ask you some questions. Would you be partaking of allowing entry into your building?
Yeah, this is sort of met by some muffled swearing.
Well, there's
At
no
least you
kind of need
assume
for
it's
that language.
swearing.
Do I
I-
find anything going around the back of the premises?
Okay, heading round the back of the premises.
That'd probably be the coal yard where they actually would park up the
Yeah.
garages.
So there's a small courtyard, and as you're checking around for signs of carriages, you can find some wheel ruts showing that a cart used to be here, but currently isn't. But what you do find is that the back door of the shop has been forced open with a crowbar.
Ooh.
Let's go
I'm
have
by
a look
myself.
inside.
Oh, that's two together. Crossbow standard issue, isn't it? Or would we not have one?
I am
Um,
going.
Actually, given what my character's bonus one speciality is, I'd imagine he probably would, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
imagine you've got a crossbow. I'm fine.
I am going to continue to talk to the individual from the opposite side of the door, as they have clearly not said that they wish for me to enter the premises or to leave.
They,
Uh,
And I would
I
also
noticed that they
complain there is
they've
no
been
need for
gagged.
swearing.
so,
I am here in a civilized manner, and I will not take profanities lightly.
draws crossbow and engage sneak mode.
So the troll gets met by more muffled sounds and probably more swearing. Which
If
can
you
now-
would like me to enter your facility, you must say that you would like me to come in. Otherwise, it would be deemed that I need a permit to enter.
you definitely don't hear those words, but as the detective makes his way through the back of the shop, hearing all these muffled sounds as well, he finds that the owner of the shop has been murdered.
Ooh.
Basically yelled to Constable Cliff to the front, "Get in here,
No,
probable
Richard!"
cause."
Well, you could yell that, but in this sense, murdered isn't really the definitive end. He's been tied up and gagged. It seems that he had a bit of unfinished business and is now a zombie. He's
Oh wait,
looking rather confused and angry at being tied up and swearing at somebody that's almost knocked his front door in.
oh no, he's told him to break through.
Told
Or are
somebody
you,
to break the
or
door.
are you letting me relay that as
Yeah.
I interrupted you?
Yeah. No,
Okay,
that's been relayed.
Surly, can you go let him in?
You might want to take his gag off first.
Yeah, I'll do that, but then could you let Cliff in?
I go up to the door,
Is
open it,
Cliff
and go.
trying to knock the door in? He's been told that there's probable cause.
Yeah, I had the probable cause of like just sort of like, oh well, yes,
Constable,
Okay,
let me
well,
open the door.
he's actually trying now, so I'm willing to go to D10 unless you're really determined and giving it full force. Then I'll let you do a D12.
I'd probably say yeah. I've been told that there's probable cause. Oh god.
Wow.
There's not really much point in rolling, but just for it.
Shirley's been going
What
backwards.
door?
There's an almighty thud, and that's as the door comes flying through the shop and hits the back wall.
At which point I noticed he's a
You
zombie
are
and went,
under arrest.
Oh.
Constable Surly, detective, you have entered into a premises without being invited. That is breaking and entering.
Door
No,
was open.
the
Probable cause.
the back door had been done in, so we came in through. We didn't break in, and someone had murdered someone's murdered the owner, but he seems
He's
to have
got
got
better.
back up again.
He was also now swearing at you, saying you absolutely did just break in. Look at his front door.
Like,
Yes,
calm
Cliff.
down.
Look at
We
the front
thought you
door.
were we thought you were dead, and not as in got back up again like me.
Mr. Nobler,
I am
noticed that the
bloody
door
I
is
think
dead.
open
someone
on its
nicked your
hinges.
wagon.
They nicked me bloody wagon as well.
Yes, and they've used.
Do you know who did it?
They've used it to rob some dragons.
No, he hit me from behind.
That's inconvenient.
At least you know that it was a gentleman. Do you know that because of how hard he hit you, or because of the height, or did he say something upon contact?
All sounds of all the
He was
sounds.
ranting the entire time.
Oh, what was he
They
saying?
could draw the plans, lay the stone, and leave the houses empty while the rest of us thrown out into the streets they built.
I'm sorry,
Interesting.
could you repeat that, sir? I am not particularly good at writing things in my notebook.
Surly,
Yeah,
get
but you're
pictures.
bloody
while you
good at
can.
breaking doors.
Don't take a picture of the
Touche.
door, Surly.
Yeah,
Don't
do
you
not
know
take a
if it-
picture of the door.
Take a picture of the door.
Would you like me to repair your door, sir? I may
No,
not be able to fully put it back on its hinges, but I can put it back in a position that will make it look like it is closed.
no, I know.
We do
how
not
this
want to
works.
let the
I
heat
fill
go
the
from the
paperwork
room.
out with a watch, and they sort it out.
I am sure, sir, that any incident can be done without us having to file the necessary paperwork.
Oh yeah, trying to
Really?
hide it, are you?
Not at all,
Really?
sir. I am merely following the rules and directive issued to me by the watch commander.
Can I just ask
Not
you a
creating
question?
unnecessary paperwork.
How do you spell defenestration again?
See, that's what you get for following the watch commander. You'll use some of his fancy words.
I will say, I was very impressed with the way you've managed to embed the door in the opposite wall.
I was told that there was an emergency and that entry was granted.
Oh, and you made entry.
I took the necessary precautions to ensure that the door was removed in a safe manner to allow my access without impeding my entrance.
You might need to apologise to the plasterwork, though.
I am sorry, Plasterwork, if I have damaged you in such a way that you may not be repaired.
But anyway, undo the. So untie the guys. Like, why don't we try and not be so hasty on this just yet? We still got to try and find your carriage. We're going to try our best to bring it back to you in one piece, but you know, dragons are involved. Things may happen to it. No, that's
Igorina
me not.
makes a hand gesture that suggests boom.
I was like, this is not a threat. This is just giving you expectations of the people have taken this, and we cannot guarantee, but we'll try our best. Especially if you just at least wait to get this carriage back before we report this to the watch.
It's
Well,
all.
You would
Is it-
also need to submit a lost property request form to the watch to allow us to fully investigate the crime.
Wouldn't that create more paperwork?
It would, but it is necessary paperwork to follow the processes within the rules of the watch.
And Theo
Igorina,
Grimes will see it that way.
Igorina, could you examine the back door where they came in? You might be able to get some
Yes,
evidence.
yes, fine, I'll have a look. Although,
And then
I'm fairly certain that the crowbar's right there.
I noticed it.
So, Mr. Nobler, being told that he might have to fill out more paperwork, says, "Well, maybe I just left it at the Lamp and Needles last night. I was out drinking with my buddy.
Ooh.
I usually
Who
do
is
that
this
after
buddy?
delivering coal dust to the sanctuary." John.
Right, so
Shaun.
we're going to the Lamp and Needle and looking for a John. Got you.
And somebody who bought a bottle of whiskey.
Whatever one it was called, I forgot what it was called now.
At the same time, I'd like to skim through that paper we picked up about what's going on with the Golem Trust, because it might be related.
He also starts examining his death wound and wondering if he can get in a proper obituary in the Times and a funeral and a wake. He's always wanted to attend one of those.
Did you deliver? According to what you just said, sir, you went and delivered the coal to the Dragon Sanctuary before you went to the pub. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you made
Because he
last
does it in the
night's
morning,
delivery.
and they didn't turn up this morning. That's what they said.
Right.
So you were drinking for a considerable amount of time. Are you sure that you didn't die to alcohol poisoning?
I'm pretty sure the entrance wound with skull back here is self-explanatory.
I am not a medical person. I am merely asking questions to eliminate possibilities. If you would like to complain about my ethics, then please take it up with my supervising officer.
Okay, yeah, I'll fill that paperwork in, don't worry.
Spectacular. In the meantime, we've still got a cart to try and uncover.
Right. Now let's get to the point and go to the lamp and needle.
Perhaps we
Exactly.
should register the fact that there was an assault at the premises. Is
sure
there
the
anything more you would like to add to
What's the
engage in our
statement?
investigation?
Alright, but I'd still prefer if Igorina did examine the door, because even if he did just use the crowbar, he might be able to identify
Fine. I
anything
shall examine
he
it
traces
all.
him and around it.
Would you like me to make sure that the door is fully clear of any obstacles?
Do
so that
not
you can get
touch
a
the
good-
door.
The door is fine. I used to get in.
Finish off your picture of the doors because they're next to each other now. It makes it
We shall put it down in the official report that they broke the back door and then blew the front door off of its hinges.
What? You can't go lying like that when I need to get me payment.
You have failed to submit a lost property report, sir. Therefore, the report information is not valid.
Wait
The
a
wording on
second,
it may be
Paperwork.
extrapolated upon to make sure that it aligns with the Watcher's desires.
Oh, first you die, and now all these watchmen are corrupt.
I am merely
Well, I ain't
stating the
working with
rules
you
and
anymore. Get out
regulations
the
and
shop.
hidden terms and conditions within the Watcher's reprimand, sir.
I think I
At
need
this
to
point,
examine
he's
this.
just going to start trying to kick you out of his shop. He's lost interest. The
I think
Watcher all clearly corrupt.
We need
I
to go
think-
down to the pub.
I think I really need to examine this door then if we're going to get kicked out.
Is he untied at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say, because if we hadn't untied him, you could just be shouting at us to get out. It's like,
Yeah, but I didn't expect the one who's playing it so he's playing it straight laced to go. By the way, you can't charge us for this door. That was sort of like out of left field a little bit.
hey, he's not submitting the correct paperwork.
Yeah, he's got to give him time to submit it. You don't just say do it now.
Almost like he knows he's in trouble and is trying to get out of it. Anyway,
Who wants to give me an observation while all of this is happening?
fine.
I'm taking a picture, so yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, surly makes more sense. Jeez,
it's
I
going to be
can't
a
talk.
D4.
But
Ooh, but it's
I'm
been
good at pictures.
okay. So,
Does the imp in the camera count as helping? 4 sets of eyes rather than 2.
so
imp is
yeah,
always helping.
it's more the imp than anything else. As he's going around the room, there seems to be an extra person has wandered in, and the troll child from outside has been stood there and eating rocks this entire time, as just curiously watches all of this happening and unfold in front of them.
Ted,
I noticed him
what time
come
were
in.
you waiting from? When did you get here this morning?
I got here for my breakfast at the normal time. It says it's roughly 2 hours ago by this point.
I am sorry, though, sir. You will have to leave. This is an active crime scene. If you wish to provide
it's been great.
if you wish to provide a witness statement, we will do so at the earliest convenience.
I don't want a statement. I just want to watch. It's been great.
Did you
As
see
you are-
anyone come in or out as you're here?
No, I was just knocking on the front door.
That solves that little
Okay.
problem.
I'd go get your breakfast somewhere else this morning.
Okay, roll me a persuasion, somebody.
Well, Thurley,
Uh,
you're the one
I
trying
don't mind
to
doing it.
persuade the child.
Yeah.
Convincing street urchins to bugger off and go away and not be in this location in a nice polite way that doesn't get me stabbed. That sounds like growing up in the shades to me.
I would like to assist as well because I have an endearing personality and I'm
Plus you
down
are-
with the kids.
I can
Plus you're a
walk
troll
towards
as
him
well.
because it scares
Yep.
him.
Can I get a D8 on that?
I think I'll give you a D10 with the assistance of Cliff. Yep, easily succeed. You manage to shoo her away. As you're doing so, and she seems to leave at speed.
I
Mr.
check my
Nobler sort of
pockets.
realizes that she's been eating things this entire time and hasn't paid.
So not only have we wrecked it with his door and made him think we're corrupt, he's now lost produce.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay, we've cost him so much money.
Not my problem.
Instead of arresting the thief, we chased him away. God, we're good as the watch.
You told her to get out of it.
Yeah, and we're still loitering, so we're on private
There's
property
no-
being asked
Yep.
to leave. Nice.
I'm just wandering off to the pub.
Trespass.
Yeah, let's just go to the next place. We'll
I'm
probably do more
definitely
damage
going to
that
the
way.
pub.
I would like to put the door back into a standing position.
It doesn't really want to. It's very bent and buckled at this point.
I will try and straighten the door out to the best of my abilities
I'm going
to show that the watch cares about the citizens and does not wish for him to catch a cold because of the weather taking a turn for the worse.
Possibly catch, he's dead.
So, how good are you at carpentry?
Oh yeah, I'm an excellent carpenter. I took carpentry class, you know. These hands are definitely made for carpentry, you know, the fine dexterity, nimble fingers of a troll.
No, I think they're more designed for destroying this door than Go on,
I
what
mean,
do
it
you
was,
want?
it was proving his knowledge because he was showing how weak the door was.
I would like to dig deeply into into my belief.
You want to? I was going to say you're going to use a luck point to make it
I
look
would like
easier.
to use 4.
It was a bit late now.
Well, you can only use one, and that only took it to a 6, so you won't succeed on that
I would like to believe
one.
that I have done the best that I can.
Yeah, you can
It's in
absolutely
splinters.
believe you've done the best you can as it just snaps in half. And you sort of just leaning up in the doorway.
Now he's got 2 doors.
Yeah.
I have done you a favour, sir. You
You've
now
got
have
a
a
barn door now.
yeah.
You can open the bottom. You can open the top. The bottom one locked and open the top one.
Yeah, so that it prevents unruly individuals from entering into your property because they are too small to go through a normal door.
Oh,
I call
God.
bullshit, but there we go.
It has been a pleasure to serve you, sir, and as formally noted, the formal report of your missing vehicle must be submitted within 24 hours of the incident occurring for the watch to understand and undertake a full investigation.
We're technically doing that now. We don't want to make him broke for love of.
He's already mad at this point. He's just continuing to try and shoo you off.
Oh yeah, I've left.
Yeah, we're gone.
Okay, so you're heading over to the lamp and needles.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
And not for the reasons they think.
Can I make some sort of noticing roll for noticing things?
In
Like
regards
cart tracks.
to what?
What are you
Oh,
looking out
tracks.
for? Are you
Right.
trying to spot
Cart
some
tracks,
cart
maybe.
You need
on the
track.
way?
If we left 3 at the back, then yes. If we're going through the front, we wouldn't be tracks.
I just want to roll something. I'm not rolling anything. I've just been noticing stuff. Usually after other people.
Let him notice.
Let me just see if it says where the cart went.
The cart definitely went that way. Or maybe it was this way.
Yeah. No, it doesn't actually say where the cart went. So.
Been absconded with.
Yeah.
I imagine it's probably good. It probably went to the place, to the sanctuary, and then gone. There'd be no point for it to have taken the dragons back here.
They might have picked up the whiskey on the way with the cart. You never know.
You never know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're looking. Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you were looking at around where we were still.
No.
Give me a notice roll, but
What am I rolling for that then? D10, D12.
I'm going to say D8 because it's just going to be a straight head-to-head roll.
Definitely notice her.
Well noticed. But not well enough.
Not well enough. Okay. What can I give you on that?
Well, sugar.
I noticed nothing.
You seem to notice that there seems to have been quite a lot of mention of the Times and newspapers. People seem to be talking about it quite a lot and people collecting it quite a lot. And because you haven't really been moving around or reacting as much, you notice that a reporter has been following you since you left the sanctuary.
Oh, brilliant!
Oh, the
Oh, no,
paparazzi.
that
They'd
means
be
they saw
happy
us.
to read your article.
That means they saw
She
us
seems
knock
to
down
be
the door.
keeping her distance, but yeah, you're definitely being followed by the newspaper. I'll give you
The truth shall make you fret.
that.
Would you like me to intervene with the reporter?
Well,
Because
no,
this is
he's
a-
noticing this on the way to the pub. So you arrive outside the pub. It's a establishment run by Rufus and Marla. Lamp and Needles is host to many well-behaved revelers, as long as their revelling is done at a respectable volume. It's got a variety of armchairs, threatening to swallow anyone who sits in them. And in the evening, the place is filled with a low murmur of quiet people having an excellent time.
To the
Excellent
barkeep.
place. Yes, hopefully I've still got that bottle on my person.
Yeah, I can allow the bottle to have been bought with you and be presented.
Excellent.
So you go up to the barkeep, and he takes a look at it. Ah, yes, Bear Hugger's whiskey, one of our finest blends. Would you like a bottle?
Who bought a bottle from you last night?
It's not like I keep a list.
Do you remember how many bottles you might have sold last night?
All right, maybe less about the ball. Do you have any patrons last night that might have been ranting about golems?
Ranting
better
about
question.
golems.
That might have also bought some whiskey. Obviously, that's something that
All
could be
were
stood out.
muttering about dragons.
Golems and dragons? Just what are you guys working on?
unfortunately, we cannot reveal the full investigation until it is concluded, for it may influence the decisions of the populace.
It's a bit taken aback by a troll using this sort of language, but doesn't say anything. Too polite.
Surprising, isn't it?
Yeah.
Annoying at times, too.
I do apologize if my attitude or accent offends you. I am merely communicating in the way that I believe is best suited for a normal conversation.
So, we don't have exact figures on how many of these whiskey bottles you might have sold last night. But do we have any regulars that looked a bit out of place? And by that's a rather stupid sentence that I've just put together right there.
Or
Admittedly,
any
he didn't.
customers you had which weren't regulars that you never seen before? Look
I
a bit dodgy, suspicious, like.
I mean, can we go back to they never actually answered the initial question about anyone ranting about golems? At least I didn't quite catch it before we went into the follow up about dragons.
No, I
Did he
don't
ask?
remember anyone talking about golems.
Thank you very much.
But regulars though, that sort of rings a bell.
Silver bells, brass bells, or great big gold bells?
Would it also happen to be an individual called John?
Well, yeah, John was here, but his usual drinking buddy, Mr. Crippus Nobler, didn't turn up. Always thought that were a bit strange. He usually drops in for a few quiet pints after his coal delivery.
Mr. Nobler has lied to us.
Yeah, John was here, struggling to pay his drinks without Mr. Nobler. Oi, Marla, you dealt with John more. What was he doing? The barkeeper's wife comes over. I remember him complaining about owing Miss Ettin some money. Said he couldn't afford his usual drinks. Something about he'd been staying in her boarding house and owed her some money.
Leave the houses empty while the rest of us are thrown out onto the streets. Boarding house.
I think he managed to convince that Rosie from the sanctuary to buy him a few drinks.
Don't say.
I am seeing some interesting patterns developing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's just because I'm standing in front of your eyes.
I think it was more what he said after, to be fair, that sticks with me.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
what?
And like, I'm going to use a dragon. Dragons could solve everything. And he looked quite excited about it. Didn't really understand it, but he was drunk and happy.
But would he kill his best friend?
Mr. Nobler also did lie to us.
So we go
He
back
said
to
he was here with John, didn't he?
He did.
So we go
Mr.
back.
Nobler might be
So we go back
hungover.
to sanctuary, or do we get Nobler first?
Was Nobler in the night before?
I saw him. Yeah, he was in the night before.
He might have been taken out the night before.
That would explain Mr. Nobler's story if he is 24 hours out of sync.
That sort of dent in the back of your head, you can't fake that.
True, actually.
Would second that assessment.
As I am not a medical man, I cannot provide a confirmation on the assessment that you have provided.
So, what boarding house is he in?
Or do we want to go to the sanctuary to speak to? Was it Sarah? Did you say
Rosie?
Rosie.
He was in Miss Ettin's boarding house. Come to think of it, he paid for his last drink with something strange as well. Figured it'd be worth a bob or two. It was quite shiny.
Right.
Ooh,
What
shiny.
was it?
Marla wanders off for a few moments and comes back with it looks sort of like a cross between a telescope and a pocket watch.
Strange.
Does it look like any sort of weird dwarven contraption?
You're welcome to have a look over it and see what you can find if you like.
Let's have a look and let's get a picture of it as well.
Cool. How familiar are you with clockwork technology?
Well, I had to order a lot of my paints over the class, you see, so I've been sitting watching them while waiting for the order to come in. So I've got a bit of a familiarity, but
Are the clacks clockwork? I thought they're more like. They're manually operated.
He's not trying to claim too high with
they
this.
are partially automated towards the end.
Press the button
I'll
on
allow the
key.
D8. It should be an easy one. To
Or underestimate the power of bad luck.
Well, he wins on a draw. So.
Oh, well, there we go then. There we are, by one.
This is an exceptionally simple clockwork technology that everyone uses in their day-to-day life.
It's
Yes.
a pocket watch.
This is a pocket watch with a telescope attached to it.
It's less about what the device is, and more as you turn it over in the light. You can see etched on the inside of the brass workings of the words "stone on stone."
He was
which-
ranting about that.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah, hang on.
Stone on stone.
Roll back.
That-
Lay stone on stone, yeah.
They could draw
Stone
the
on
plans, they
stone.
lay the stone on stone, then leave the houses empty. Builders?
So with that,
Golem Trust.
I'll also let you. Yeah, it's the golem.
Trust the
Well, I'll be
I
darned.
do,
Golem
I do
Trust.
believe we have found a potential link.
Well, if you want to take it away, it's going to cost you.
I believe that this is evidence and therefore is being taken by the Watch for use in an ongoing investigation. If it is
Nah.
proved not to be the case, then the Watch will return it to the patronage of yourselves.
Nah, this hasn't been involved in any crimes. It was used as payment. Come on, cough it up.
This is an ongoing investigation. The what?
Actually, it's not going
What's
anywhere.
you giving me?
We can take a picture of it, and then the markings. That would be
Oh,
our
it's
Detective.
where I'm going to sell it.
Detective, this is an item that is potentially part of an ongoing investigation. I recommend that it is taken, and I will use my politest voice possible to say that it is evidence in a potential ongoing crime.
Okay.
I offer
It
you
would-
one pigeon.
They don't seem convinced by that one, but if you want to roll persuasion, let me go for that.
Like we're going for a
are you using
requisition.
anything to be extra persuasive?
I'm definitely extra persuasive because I have a good public relation and I have a winning smile and chiseled features. In my politest voice possible, I will lean very closely to the individual and speak loud and slowly. This is an ongoing investigation, and it would be in your best interests to allow the Watch to continue with this investigation unimpeded. Otherwise, there may be fines against your facility if it is found you are perverting the course of justice.
Or I'll give you two pigeons.
I'm going to allow the D12. Mostly because they're intimidated and unsure about this pigeon.
I mean, we're being watched this whole time while you're doing this.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Okay, yeah, so they hand it over to you. A bit of grumbling, but
We've
The Watch
impounded
thanks
it.
you for your
Yeah.
for your cooperation, and if it is found that it is not essential, it will be returned to you upon completion of the investigation.
Here's
For
your
reference,
receipt.
for reference, I am Constable Cliff, and my badge number is blah 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 blah.
Cliff,
One
your
too
badge
many.
number's 7.
My badge number is 7. Numbers is not my strong point.
well, while you're here, can we at least offer you a drink and get something out of this deal?
I am afraid that I am currently on duty, and the partaking of alcohol is strictly prohibited whilst I am on duty.
Well,
I'll
what
take
about
a
the rest
pigeon.
of you?
I mean, they are just sort of guidelines. I'll take one.
I regret to inform you, Detective, that we are on duty, and it is against the rules to drink whilst on active duty.
I'm not
If
gonna
you
smoke.
consume
Should
alcohol,
I
I will have to
thirsty?
report you to my supervisor.
Can I take this to go, please?
Yes.
For a receipt.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk out with it in this. I'm hoping it's gonna be a bottle. If it's not, then I'd argue this type of person, Bartholomew, would probably have a hip flask or something.
Yeah, they'll sell you a bottle of the Bear Huggers whiskey.
Yep, and I'll literally just put it in my pack. I'm not drinking it. I'm walking out with it.
Oh, bloody hell. All right, then 3 pigeons.
Stop him being.
I am curious as to
Hey.
why you would want to
Oh,
eat pigeon. It is a very unsanitary bird and not very clean.
Yeah, but it's tasty.
Taste is an opinion of the individual. I personally find that pigeon is not a particularly nice meat.
Aside from the
Fairly right.
subjectiveness of taste, can we please just get on with the sodding investigation?
Okay, now we can either go back to Sanctuary to apprehend Sarah, see what was found out.
Rosie.
Apprehend, just question
Rosie.
Sorry.
He just
I keep
wants to
saying
represent
Sarah.
Sarah.
Sorry, I do apologize.
You're just
We
trying
shall
to make.
We shall-
He's decided Sarah is the culprit this entire
We
time.
shall break into the sanctuary and we shall arrest Sarah.
I didn't say
Even if
break in, and I didn't say I
we
meant
shall find one
question.
and we shall arrest her, for she
I
is
didn't-
definitely part of this crime.
We'll question her first. She might have just had a few and told him a few things.
And I just
But
thought
yeah,
you were
I mean,
making.
and I
You were
put this
taking
to
the piss
group.
out of my list.
Do we want to question Rosie, or do we want to go and look into this boarding house first?
You are the lead detective. I will follow your lead. However, if you do consume any of the alcohol that you have put in your hip flask, I will
Oh,
have to
put a
deem that you
fuck
are
in
a
it.
bit.
Stone boy.
I am merely quoting the rules and regulations that we have signed up to by following the code of being a watchman.
What time of day is it, out of curiosity?
It's going to be bloody
Late
nightfall
morning.
by the time Cliff's done with all these regulations.
It's mid-morning.
I was thinking Rosie could run off, but the person who owns the house, the boarding house, is still going to be there.
Yeah, I'd say go back to.
Rosie.
I reckon we go back to the Dragon Sanctuary and question Rosie. I noticed she looks shifty.
Then we also have to see how much Nobler has got to do with all of this.
I think we should go talk to the boarding house and go talk to the.
So that's 3 people with 3 different places that we want to go to.
We need to go boarding house and then the Golem Trust, because then we have questions to ask Rosie.
Would you like us all to split up and cover more ground quickly?
Sod it, I can see the
No.
logic.
Nah, let's stick together.
Don't split the party.
Fine, we'll go to the boarding house, go to the Golems, roll, and go back for Rosie.
Sounds
Okay.
sensible.
Okay, see you after the
I'm kind of
board.
stuck anyway. I'll go
I
with
am
Cliff
too
goes.
dead for this.
I am quite happy to go wherever you would like me to go, Constable. It is only fair that we both make an opinion on the direction that we go.
Lead on, detective.
Okay.
The boarding
Dead
house.
for this stuff.
Do we get to make any kind of like local knowledge rolls about this place? Because it sounds like a bit of an institution. It'd be multiple boarding houses.
Well, you've got to get there first.
Fair enough. Well, there's just things. It'd be more of just what do we know about it while we're moving there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you give me a knowledge roll? Have you ever been there before? Any ties with it?
As far as we're aware.
I'd say boarding houses generally are for those who are down on their luck, maybe in a bit of destitute. They generally are the main source of a good chunk of the crimes, right? And drunks had to be deposited back in their places.
So we're talking about Thurley then?
Not necessarily.
I would like to point out that jumping to conclusions of people that are hard on their luck is not particularly fair,
It's just based
detective.
off personal experience. I'm not saying everyone. Also, I have been around a bit. As I said, so I might have said that if these places a bit, if so basically, yeah, you've been around a bit. If this place is an institution that's been going on for a while, he may have run into it in the previous lifetime and this unlifetime. Especially as I said,
I'm only hearing loose connections, so I'll do D6.
I'm happy with that.
Is it on the
Thurley
river?
was born and raised in the Shades.
Annoying.
Ooh, gotta max it.
But who am I to say?
So yeah,
Oh, I thought it was
no,
a 7. Oh, fair enough.
no, it's a 6. Yeah, no real additional information other than what you've already gleaned of it being a boarding house and people coming and going as they generally do in this type of place.
Shall
Okay.
we find it though, I take it?
Well, along the way, you go over to the Misbegot Bridge
Oh, hello.
and nominate somebody. Bundy, give me a D6 roll.
Okay. Yoo-hoo.
Woohoo!
Okay. So as you're heading over the bridge, he's on particular alert, it seems. And there's a young man called Guido causing a bit of a disturbance to the peace on the side of the bridge, mumbling about golems and having the same motive as John.
Those are her exact words?
Those are his exact words, yeah.
Is it
So,
worth
fellas.
us intervening?
I think it's worth intervening, at least having a look.
If he's disturbing the peace, then that'd at least be an arrest we could leave with a local patrolman after we get some information, of course.
Would you like me to intervene with the conversation?
But you have that good, friendly people manner.
Exactly. You're a people
course,
person,
sir.
Cliff.
The face of the watch. Everyone knows. Cliff.
Excuse me, sir. I could not help but overhear that you are potentially disturbing the peace. As a constable of the watch, I would like to ask you a couple of questions so that decisive action may be taken and potentially arrest if we do find that you have been caught disturbing the peace. Would you comply with my questioning?
He looks at you bleary-eyed and drunk and just accuses you of being a golem that's out to take his job.
I'm sorry, sir, but I am not a golem. I am a troll, but I will accept the conversation that you are allowing me to ask you questions.
He's
If
also
you do,
got a job.
where were you the night of the crime occurred?
What crime?
Yeah, we're kind of jumping the gun a little bit here, Cliff. How about you
I do
just back
apologize.
up a little bit?
Stupid golem.
If he was at the crime scene, he'd know which crime.
Ah, I see. Try and get him to indict himself. I see. Right. Yeah, you're all idiots.
Stupid
I didn't
golem
say
would
a
go
thing.
out and draw up all these plans and lay stones. All we end up is out on the streets. All your fault.
I do not accept responsibility for your actions, sir, but I would like to understand the reasoning behind why you have such frustration behind your plans and golems.
Stealing
Well,
jobs, he said.
Stealing our jobs.
Which job in particular have they stolen? And I will launch. And if it has been deemed that it is necessary, it is worthwhile that you report it as lost, as stolen to the watch, so a full investigation can be undertaken.
Ooh, dangerous precedent I think we're setting here.
The individual has clearly stated that something has been stolen from him by a golem. It is worth investigating to confirm that that is the case.
And you steal someone's job?
So
I do not know at this
looking-
moment in time because I have not understood the facts and the information pertained by the individual.
Sorry, Shaun.
Therefore, I cannot
Technically, you
make
can steal
conclusions.
someone's job. If you just turn up and start doing work under their name and no one questions it, then you've stolen their job.
So at this point, you've sort of calmed his anger down, but falling into the state of confusion in his drunkenness.
He's not the only one.
I've got an idea.
He's just sort of stood at the edge of the bridge, swaying back and forth. And
I am
How about
very,
you come
Just-
away from the bridge, mate. At the edge of the bridge. You don't want to fall in.
I am simple. I am not stupid.
But they're literally just trying to convince that. Come on. You can tell us all
Yeah.
about it.
roll me a convincing check then to convince the drunk to go with what he
I
thinks. is
pull
a
out the alcohol and start waving it at him.
Well, now you're talking his language, so I'll give you a D12 on that
Smart.
one.
Is that not
Almost
considered
like he
bribery,
planned it.
sir? Is that not considered as bribery, sir?
It's called persuasion, you stupid stone.
Only if I offer it.
I am not stupid. I am just inclined
Simple,
to
yes,
think
I
things.
got it.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I pull him away.
Yeah, you can fully convince him to move along, and
No, just pull away. I don't want him to go Oh, just go away.
You just literally like,
I said, come away from
be
the
drunk
edge.
on
I don't
this
want
bridge.
to. Yeah, I said, come away
He's gonna
from the edge.
Yeah,
Come off the
he's
bridge.
gonna sit down on the bridge and drink more. That's fine.
And basically, what he's going to say is like, so I've heard other people saying them kind of words. Lots of people like you angry about golems stealing your jobs.
Oh, aye. Everyone at the shop.
Oh, what shop is that? Because I've been looking at some of the golems back at the watch house and like, I don't want them doing my kind of job.
So he just looks at you,
Why he freaking
seems
any
to
work
sniff a few
anyway?
times, and then just vomits and collapses.
Ooh, strike out.
Didn't
Right
you
over
say
your
he
fuse,
passed out?
too.
Did I hear that?
Yeah, he's just vomited in your face and then collapsed.
I am sorry, sir, but I am now arresting you for being drunk and disorderly in a public place. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you do say will be used against you in a court of law.
Put myself down and then just searching. Like, I'm looking for a pamphlet, a leaflet, something. It sounds like some sort of potential golem hating club.
Amazing club. We don't talk about amazing
Don't talk
club.
about goblin hating.
Rule 1.
Yeah, he's got nothing on him.
Oh, damn it.
Unlike the detective, who's got everything on him at the moment.
Yeah, you
Well,
can
there's-
send him away to be sobered up and question him later. But he
Oh yeah,
doesn't-
Yeah,
he's
gonna be
definitely been
there.
arrested. He's violating the peace. You
He's
know,
assaulted a police officer and
yeah, assaulted a police
I
officer.
was thinking that as like 10. So, all right, so they're meeting up at a shop.
Okay, so you carry on, and eventually you're able to find
It's like wipe myself down and like
Miss Etton's boarding house.
it's like praying for rain at this point, but they just get as much off me as I can.
You can always use a bit of rank. I mean, I wouldn't advise it. You can always use it.
Well, my special children.
I take offence being called special.
So
Sorry,
the first thing
simple.
you notice about it is a crowd of people that have gathered to watch it. There seems to be a column of smoke erupting from the third floor of the ramshackle building,
Ooh.
and a line of golems are piling up a small pile of burning possessions in the street.
What the thmeg?
Right,
I'm trying to
River.
think. How do we call the fire department?
Loudly with bells.
Yeah. Look for
What
the
do you
nearest-
like? But
I have
Look-
a traditional way of calling fire department. Oh look, this building is very flammable. If only someone would buy insurance.
would you like me to intervene, detective? It looks like the golems are potentially trying to help fight the fire.
Yeah, so you've got it right. The golems do seem to be trying to tackle the fire in their own particular way. This just seems to be moving the fire out of the way of other things that aren't on fire, and that's why there's now a pile of burning objects in the street. As somebody mentions insurance, a salesman appears as if by magic next to them, and starts trying to sell them some food and products.
Okay.
Nibbler.
Yeah.
I say, Constable Misbegot Ampersand, how fast can you fly? Would you be able to find us? Would you be able to find us a local, just the nearest passing patrolman? Tell them they need to get their butt into gear and get the fire department.
Oh, I don't know if I
Um,
could do that.
This is the fire department.
Is it?
There'd be lots of eyes on me.
We don't have a proper one. Not since they stopped handing out insurance.
Stop saying that
Something-
word.
I got banned from selling that. You're not tricking me into selling that again.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
But I know
Would
a lot
anyone
about
here be kind enough to go and assist the watch by finding the nearest person that can assist with fire?
All right. Is there like a trough of water or something for horses or anything nearby?
Oi,
You, grab a bucket.
That's why I was looking for like
Yeah.
a trough, just to start. Just
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's probably a place to stable horses around the back.
yeah, just find a bucket of water and just start shoveling water into the building, onto the
Into
flames.
the building or onto the big pile of bonfire that
Actually, yeah,
Golems
actually
have
onto
stacked in the middle of the street.
onto the pile of things. Actually, probably
Onto
makes
the
more
pile
sense.
of things. Okay.
Just out of interest, how long have we got until the Dravening explodes?
Good point. Not a bit yet.
Yeah, you've had roughly about half the time.
Oh,
I mean,
4
it's
hours.
an hourglass. It's hard to be exact, but it looks, about half and half. So
I would assume that we have used approximately half of the sand.
Is that because you can only see half of the sand, Cliff?
That may be correct.
Good.
It is
Good.
not. Sand is very small, and the troll's eyes are not particularly focused on sand.
Okay, so let's have a roll. Let's see how well you do with throwing water onto a bonfire.
Is this going to be one of the group roles?
Yeah, it can be a group roll.
Hey,
That's what we're doing on a group
So
roll.
how good are you at putting fires out? What experience have you got?
Well,
I think
take your
that
actual
Mummy and
traits.
Daddy. I was very cumbersome as a child, and occasionally I did create fires. And Mummy and Daddy taught me how to put out the fire so that I can prevent our house from burning down.
Mostly stomping on it.
I've taken lots of pictures of old fire insurance plaques.
Taking lots of pictures of fires. You
Oh
flipping
no,
off.
Igorina's part of her roots would have she had some sort of training on how to deal with burning torch wielding mobs.
that and spray it, don't fey it. Suggest I'm good with
Yep.
water.
Yeah, I'll allow that. The imp in the camera looks rather excited about using this much orange and yellow and red and itching to take a photo.
Tone down the yellow a little bit and go ahead.
Wait for us to put out and go through the items. We might be able to find evidence.
No, I want the picture now. See what we can get.
You have the before and the after photos to show the valiant work that the watch has done in preventing fires.
Watch from
Okay,
preventing
okay.
fires. Okay,
Can
so I think I'm
Iconograph, you don't use
convinced that
photos. That's weird.
allowing a D12.
Is it worthwhile that we
Hey,
also get
Karina.
our officer of the paper to take photos of us
Oh.
valiantly fighting
Oh,
fire?
no, actually. Woohoo.
You, journalist. I'll have a picture for you in a bit.
Oh,
So
Can I
we
get
all
the
rolled
picture?
D12, and
Are we?
um,
Okay.
I assume it's highest. Is the high? You'll take our highest.
Yeah, it's a success.
so what it is-
So,
yeah. It,
mhm.
if you roll above the nativity, not nativity, the narrative roll, nativity roll,
Nativity
then
roll.
you succeed.
Already Christmas, you failed.
Yeah, just trying to remember nativity roll.
Well
I'm
done, you've
green.
just killed the
I'm
fool,
taking
Bundy.
a picture.
Happy Hogs Walk, everybody.
Shirley
Hey,
actually throws
Cheers,
the camera into the fire.
Okay, so it takes a bit of organising and a bit of stamping, but yeah, you're able to start putting the fire out and realizing what these possessions are. It seems to be becoming quite obvious that this is a pile of what is mostly now consisted of John's clothes, books, smouldering furniture,
Ooh.
things from his room, basically, and a
Is
couple
that-
of the adjoining rooms.
I will ask the golems if they have found any organic matter within the building that suggests that the occupant may or may not have left the facility.
Have you found any people in there?
I
Or
was
any
trying to be
bits of
polite so
dragon?
that
The golem stares at you blankly, doesn't think that you're on fire, so doesn't add you to the fire.
do I need to speak slowly because I know that sometimes you may struggle with my voice.
I don't
Did
think
you
they've been
find
living very well
anyone
yet.
inside the building?
Speak a little louder, Cliff. You might be finally getting through to him.
Have we got any humans around that look like the part of the Golem Trust?
Well, let me think.
Maybe not part of the Golem Trust, but you can see a rather red-faced, angry-looking woman near the doorway.
I say, Cliff, you might be the only one that can actually go in there because you're the least flammable.
I'm a gargoyle, so I'm, stone as well.
Yeah, but you're not immune to falling masonry.
Yeah, I
Either way,
will-
Seen him move?
I am more than happy to go and see if there is any organic matter within the remains of the building, whilst you would question the individual out here about their potential motives.
Yeah.
fold.
So as you head over to the entrance where you're met by Miss Etten, she's rather angry, looking for somebody to blame at this point. Not so happy that there's also now golems traipsing through her house and tearing things apart. Even pieces of the wall are being brought outside because they're on fire.
Oof.
So they're doing quite a bit of property damage. She seems to be under the impression that it was the dwarves' fault. This is all to do with dwarves. Dwarves have started this fire, and she wants to know what you're going to do about it.
Why would they start the
What are you
fire?
talking about?
Yeah, looks like this is you two guys handling this. Off you go.
Well, the city used to be safer before folks like dwarves turned up and started burrowing under everything and causing trouble.
All right, there's types.
She's not bothered about being openly racist in front of the dwarf.
To a dwarf.
Okay, do you know when was the last time you saw John, your tenant?
Last time she saw last night he bought a carriage. I thought he was moving out.
Ooh.
He brought
Did
a
you
carriage.
really? What time was that?
Ooh, early hours of the morning.
Did he have anyone with him?
Not that I saw. I wasn't really paying that much attention.
Okay.
Did you see anything about, yay big, maybe gold, maybe green, maybe blue, maybe smoking slightly, fizzing, potentially exploding?
A bath bomb.
What sort of dwarven crap are you trying to peddle in this place?
Oh, I'm checking for dragons.
There's been
Dragon.
dragon infestation recently. We've been tracking down where they're coming from.
Well, if there's dragons around, something should be done about that.
That's what we're doing.
That's what the watch is here for.
I think you're just
taking the
trying to
piss.
push the blame off of the dwarves.
Certainly. Can you put your hands over your ears?
Can I borrow your crossbow?
No. Could you just check the perimeter?
Burley, how about you come with me and we'll take a very nice picture of all of the devastation.
Iko, can you just draw this woman's face? I just want to make sure we catch it in the wrong light.
Yeah, let's make sure it's underlit and everything, so she looks really sinister.
Really suddenly she's
Double
now
chin.
suspectable.
So I can
She will allow people access to the property if they want to go in and explore them. Just not the dwarf.
Just
I'm
not
going to
the
continue talking with her. It's like, while the dwarf is going, it's like, you can't trust them, Mum. But yeah, I think it might be dwarves that might be bringing the dragons in. That's why we need to know. We think Jason might have been working for them.
Who's Jason?
Not Jason, sorry. John. Sorry, this is Alex's brain is giving out. I've had a very tiring day. John.
all of a sudden, I went Friday the 13th.
Seriously, I actually have been really tired. I apologise. I'm not usually this bad. John, sorry, it said John is in league with them. That's why we're investigating. We need to find him, make sure him and the dwarves don't do anything else to anyone else's property.
Okay.
Is there anything you can remember? Anything at all about the carriage or what he was doing or anyone he might be
No.
with?
It was John's. Like I say, it was early hours of the morning. I saw him arrive, but then I went back to bed. Not my place
You
to be
noticed how
interfering in
cold
his bed. Coal? No.
Okay.
But the carriage is gone then in the morning, I'm guessing.
Well, it's not here now.
Hmm.
The detective
She's
work
not
then,
wrong.
no?
You could work for the watch like that.
I'll say, has John ever had any kind of friends
so-
over? Any kind of arguments
Excessive
recently?
racism.
Good job, Cliff not here.
I try to stay out of the affairs of the people that come through the place.
So he's never had anyone here come turn up with him. He's never had any kind of like meetings or friends over.
Not that I've particularly noticed.
All right, then, for those of us who are
You're
going
welcome to check
inside.
his room.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was talking to her while people were going inside, sort of thing. So you can have a separate one with everyone else.
Yeah. Okay, so you head up to the 3rd floor. There's quite a lot of smoke around.
Hello, Mr. John. Are you alive?
You know
John's
he's not in here.
Do I
John's
have
nowhere to be
permission?
found unless you think that the golem coming out of his room isn't called John. But he just seems to be carrying a bit more.
Do I have
smoldering
permission to enter into your premises?
Not his premises.
Hey,
this is
nothing
the
if we're
landlady.
allowed to go in.
The golem does indeed say nothing.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
There we go. We've been given permission, Cliff. Let's go.
I understand that consent has been given based on the rules and regulations that you have implied in this situation.
Just remember that word, implied. Just in case
Okay.
Grimes asks later.
Or implode.
So what is it you want to look for in the room? You're looking
Eh.
Is there any
Scorched
sign?
marks.
Is there any signs of organic matter, whether it be dragon or human?
any signs of organic matter? Okay. How good are you at knowing what is
picking out
organic
organic
and what is
matter.
fire? Actually,
I am exceptionally clever. I have spent many a day reading books about anatomy. Honest gov. I do
mean-
think that Dr. Constable Igorina may actually be better undertaking this investigation. I am merely here to offer support from the flames.
Thank
to
you.
be fair, you say that you have got an ability called people on things, which I think is
This is
kind
true,
of
yeah.
funny.
Go for it.
Yes.
I can help.
People are not people are not things. People are fleshy people.
Yeah.
People are generally made of flesh, and flesh does generally char in certain ways.
I think that's worth at least a D10.
D10, huh?
Special.
This is not
Woo.
people. Or this is people.
Okay, so you start looking around the more burnt and charred areas. There's a bit of signs of damage. And as you're digging sort of through the ashes and the wreckage, looking for signs of organic matter, one of your fingers comes up and it's got a collar dangling from it. It says, "My name is Smokey. If found, please return to the Sunshine Sanctuary for sick dragons. Do not feed me under any circumstances."
I do believe that I have found a name tag that does not belong to the individual that was partaking in this residence. I should just pass it across to Miss
Igorina.
Igorina.
Well, it seems strangely self-explanatory.
You
As
do
you
you do
back-
believe that I have the full ability to read the text that is this small. I thank you for this, but unfortunately it is not meant to be.
All right, it looks like a dragon's collar.
As you continue digging and sifting and talking, you find some dragon scales. It seems to shift and move excitedly. And then a nervous-looking dragon sort of hiccups, and another fire is started on the other side of it.
Oops. Let's try and
Hello,
put that
sir.
out before it spreads.
Hello, sir. Would you be willing to answer some questions about the current situation?
Or maybe we could be a little bit more gentler and say, "Come out."
I am merely following the letter of the law about trying to ascertain whether this individual is a witness to the crime.
How about you go over there and put out the small fire he just instigated, and I'll try and persuade this thing to come out of hiding.
Okay,
Very well.
How would you like to try and persuade the dragon?
Hey, what have I got on my person?
Oh,
Is this
I'll
the
do it.
dragon
They
that's
seem to like
missing the
me.
meds?
No, this is a different type of dragon. This is more like roughly the golden dragon that you saw in Conscious.
And it's not called Gunther or something.
Smoky.
Yeah, that one's called Gunter. This
Gunter.
one's called, well, presumably called Smoky.
Yeah.
All right, then, Misbegot. Get over here and help through this thing.
Okie dokie. Hello, little dragon.
So you're just trying to appeal to it, your natural charisma and looking
Well-
like a dragon.
It's
Pretty much.
where are we? Beloved by animals despite best efforts.
Yeah.
And where is it? Dragons are irresistibly drawn to them to their eternal consternation.
Okay. Yep, that's worth a D12.
Don't
Kind of
roll
come across and it's just kind of, oh, I suppose I help. They always
Yep.
seem to be drawn to me.
It seems
Oh, it's
to
licking my face.
it
This is
take
what I
too
don't
long.
like.
They're sort of rubbing around you like a cat, licking you like a dog. It's just a very strange animal, but yeah, it takes to you immediately. Very happy to see you.
You stay there, keeping the dragon happy, while Cliff and I look for more of them.
Oh.
You're doing great. Just keep it up.
I do believe that I have successfully stamped the fire out. However, the stability of the floor may now be in question.
In that case, haste. And more haste, less speed.
However, because I am not a structural engineer, I cannot fully give an assessment of my current assumptions.
Is there a hole in the floor?
Yes.
Then structural
Right,
integrity is compromised. Let's look.
Yes.
Message received. I shall now know that from now on, as it has never been told to me previously.
You know what? I really need to apologise to people who've got an actual proper list, because it sounds like I am taking the absolute piss, and I'm trying not to, but at the same time.
I do
Okay,
apologise.
that's fine.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to calm the dragon down, and you can bring it outside with you if you wish.
Yes.
Speaking of outside, we've got two people that were dealing with the burning wreckage. So give me a roll checking through this burning pile.
Detective and Thurley, you're up.
Can I pull curious enough to make the cats nervous? For better dice?
I think, ooh, what's that?
Yeah, I don't
Ooh,
see
right.
why not. You literally just abandoning reason to look through this thing, so it's worth at least a D10.
Way! Skill!
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, you gained some nasty burns as you
You can spend some
get
luck.
rather too.
Alright, I'll spend some luck. What does luck do?
Yeah, you don't need to spend.
So luck would have just lowered the thing by 1, but
Consequence, yeah.
I think it's still gonna.
I'll take the consequence of
Yeah.
burns. Ow.
Fire is hot.
Fire hot.
Fire
now you know.
hot. Chainmail gets hotter when hit by
Hold-
fire.
Pull back, let me
Furious
deal with
cats
it.
burned by fire.
What's it gonna do to me? Ow, ow, ow.
More fire. Okay, so
I mean, it's been put out, so it's smouldering, these items are. So this
yeah,
can be
this
hot.
is still warm and hot, and
Yeah.
there could be fires underneath waiting to be found. Like, it's not really been fought at this point. It's just had water thrown over it.
Oh, I thought we succeeded in putting all the fires out on of the stuff that was piled outside.
Fire,
Just
yes.
threw water
Smouldering
over it.
embers, no.
Nope, you threw water over it. There is no sign of fire, but it doesn't mean it's not buried.
Apart from coating my hands in water while doing it, I'm not really sure what else can make it safe.
Good
Don't
thoughts.
know.
Good, happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts.
Excuse me.
Well, currently I'd say at a D8, unless you can convince me of anything.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll stick with a D8.
Ooh. Critical fail for the pilot.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna point my iconograph at a random part of this fire and take a picture.
So this seems to
Can I check
be.
if it's anything useful?
Let's let him get with the detective first.
So yeah, the detective seems to find a couple of interesting pieces of singed paperwork. The first seems to be a scrap of paper with John's details on it. It seems to be a pay slip from his employer, Stone on Stone.
Oh.
And the second piece that seems to pique his interest is a drawing. Seems to be architecturally of a bridge of some kind. You think it looks rather similar to the bridge that you found the drunk on earlier.
My home.
And this again seems to be signed by John. But yeah, it is Misbegot Bridge.
Well, with that in mind, and the fact that we've now found a survivor, how about we have a word with it Rosie when we take this dragon back to the sanctuary?
Yeah.
Are we back outside now, are we?
Yeah, you
Well,
can
I'm not
come back.
staying in a in a smouldering building.
I do believe that there may potentially be a plan to blow up the bridge based on the information we have to hand.
Terrorists.
Maybe the individual that was at the bridge that has now been detained for being drunk and disorderly was actually a watchout, making sure that the plan was set up correctly.
Seriously? He seemed an awful lot fuddled to me. Nevertheless,
Taking out that bridge a crime or a civic duty?
I do believe that under the terms of engagement it would be classed as a crime. However, majority of the city may think that they have done the world a favour.
vandalism
It's
at
my
most.
home.
Perhaps
Let's
it may
go.
be reduced to a common misdemeanour if people believe that it was for a good cause.
So, dragon.
Anyway. Yep, it's your turn, the dragon.
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 Return to
You
sender.
going Sunshine Sanctuary?
Yes.
Alrighty.
We found one!
11 left to go.
11 to go.
Check
We've
us
done
out.
well. It's only taken us, what, 2 hours and
Wow.
we found one.
Well, you probably used another hour at this point, so it's probably.
I mean, 2 hours of actual play.
Oh, I was actually saying. Well,
Never
yeah.
said the watch isn't effective.
You just do it piecemeal.
So when
So,
the game officially releases, we will have eventually found all of the
All of
dragons.
the dragons. So you head back to Sunshine Sanctuary for sick dragons. Rosie seems more pleased to see Smokey than you. Happy to have the dragon returned. Although she does offer, since this is a golden deceiver, it may be able to lead you. They've got an excellent sense of smell for the people that they've been around, and they could potentially lead you in the direction of the other dragons or the person that took them.
bold. Considering there's about to be a terrorist attempt on destroying the bridge, maybe we should take him to the, Wait a second. How do you make a bridge go boom? With a truckload of exploding dragons, that's how. Well, so I think if we get him to track down the dragons and the band, it's going to be leading us to the same place.
Do we want to talk to Rosie about John?
Buying drinks for John, yeah.
You were buying drinks for John last night.
Yes, I see John quite often down at at the tavern.
Would you say that your relationship with John was intimate at any point?
I got to do with the investigation.
All right.
I am merely trying to build a character profile so that it will better investigate. It will better lead my questions.
All right.
He's
Was
a simple
John
and a pervert.
was you don't have to answer that specifically. Was John upset last night or talking about stone on stone?
Oh, he always grumbles about that. That's just part of his nature. But he's usually quite a charming fellow.
What specifically
he's-
is did he lose his job to a golem?
I think that they use golems to do a lot more of the architect work. He used to draw up a lot of the plans and help with the building and how to make things. He was very good with his hands.
Did he ever meet up
He?
with like-minded
Maybe Cliff was
individuals?
right.
Did he ever meet up with any like-minded individuals at some sort of shop?
I mean, I don't know him that well. I just saw him at the pub.
Just his
fair
hands,
enough.
got ya.
I don't know, you might have met him a few times.
Is that one
When
of the
I ask
judges?
questions, it is called rude and provocative. When you make assumptions, you all laugh at it. I am struggling to find out how this is
No,
fair.
you're getting
Ask
it.
him about we aren't asking about the more intimate issue. No, we aren't asking him about intimate details about their relationship.
I was merely trying to ascertain whether she had any part in the crime, because if she had a relationship, she could have been the one that allowed them to break in without any kind of major incident occurring.
And I was just off
Couldn't
the gossip.
possibly think that John did this, Ken. He wouldn't.
At this moment in time, we cannot fully discuss with you the ongoing investigation that the Watch is conducting.
Besides the fact that we just mentioned something about exploding bridges and missing dragons. Other than that, you're mostly to stay uninformed.
At no point did I specifically state anything about the bridge exploding.
We found Smokey in his residence, and John had a carriage. A carriage turned up last night. Let's say when it went missing from your coal supplier.
She seems rather angry at this point, in a sort of "I'll kill him" sort of mood.
Oh, okay. So our suspect is now your suspect. So yeah, go off. So how about we put?
Have we finished?
How about we put this fella to good use and try and track this stuff down before boom time.
Oh, did we? Did we? We didn't.
You didn't find Gunter yet, then?
No, I was going to say, what was it? No, yeah. We've got the papers. That'd have John sent on, wouldn't it?
He doesn't need anything to send. He'll just remember.
Okay.
Just hold his leash and follow him.
Okay then.
I'm going to surf on the dragon.
I was going to say you've probably got the best.
You can't surf on the dragon that wants to, rub up against you.
You've probably got the best relationship with the dragon. Do you want to take the lead?
Do I have
Constable
to?
Ampersands? He likes you.
I know, that's so annoying.
Can we?
Those dragons always rub up on me and.
Fine, I'll take the sodding lead. Ampersand, you can stay behind me so he doesn't get distracted.
Would you like me to put you on my shoulder again? Did Constable say that the dragon cannot directly get to you without me intervening?
Yes, please.
I shall carefully
Super.
pick you up. Please climb onto my extended hand.
Don't squeeze so tight.
I do apologise. I do not know my own strength at times.
All right, Smokey.
Okay. I think the arm will grow back.
Right then, Smokey. Seek.
He sort of stares at the gargoyle for a few moments and then realizes what he should be seeking and starts sniffing the air and heads off.
I just imagine the scene from Basil the Great Mass Detective where he goes, "Toby, sick 'em!" and just stamps on Basil and then just goes charging off.
Yeah. Yes.
Thankfully, this is a small dragon.
It's a rather roundabout way of getting back to the bridge, but it soon becomes apparent why, as this road, rather than taking you over the bridge, is seeming to be trying to take you under the bridge.
Just
So
as I suspected.
As you get closer to the bridge, slung under the bridge in a network of scaffolding that bears building materials, tools, and a carriage with Nobblers and Sons written on the side of it. At the other side of this vertigo-inducing walkway is a man completing the last stages of what seems to be a plan. He's currently trying to light a long fuse with a rather uncooperative dragon. The fuse leads across the scaffolding towards where the carriage is wobbling dangerously. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to?
Bartholomew, you've got that kind of shot that can't miss, right?
Are you going to shout at him and alert him? Okay.
Actually, I think it would be a better idea if since somebody always hits what he should be aiming at. How about we get Detective Bartholomew to shoot the fuse?
That's what I was thinking. How is he actually holding? Is he like Is he like hidden away, or just so I can? Is he like facing her? So I just want to get a picture of the angle to see how many ricochets we've got to get.
He's currently got his back to you, I'd say, because he's at the other side of the bridge. Messing with a fuse.
Perhaps we could aid you, sir, by then shouting to get his attention so that he turns with the fuse in his hand, allowing you to say.
Actually,
this is an anime. Do we have to shout his name before we can shoot him? Because that's rules.
You don't want to make the dragons explode by startling them.
Good point. Yeah.
Good point.
We could ask politely then, if you wished. Excuse me, sir. You
You want to
currently...
fake leave?
No.
Just let the thodding arsehole shoot.
Basically, thanks. Basically, he's going to try and line it up so it's basically going to be ricocheting after parts of the viaduct, so it goes over, goes up, over, round, and we've gone past the carriage, haven't we? So it's going to basically it was a carriage ahead of us.
Come on, close one eye, and then it's 1,000,000 to 1 shot. You can't.
I am trying to get an idea so I can describe the shots.
I think you're overcomplicating.
Fine.
Yeah.
You said to describe the right. Basically, all right, I'm going to try ping off the
basically
inside the
saying
viaduct
that
so it
you
goes
should
round.
be aiming at the fuse, but you're not. You're aiming at.
Yes. I'm trying. He's trying to line up a trick.
You're hamstringing yourself.
I've been doing a lot of
You're
that.
aiming for the fuse, because otherwise trick shotting. Trick shotting's going to take. Have you got skill in trick shot?
I always hit what I
got no
fire.
skill in trick shot, but he's got a
So yeah, you're kind of like you're going to benefit and disbenefit at the same time by saying I'm going to trick shot it, just like I'm just going to shoot the damn thing.
So, D10.
It's all on this. It's all on the. Oh.
Yep.
No, I got 8. You got 4.
You got an
Did
8,
it?
So it's a success.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, so he takes some time and he's staring dead-eyed at the fuse. Takes the shot, and although crossbow at the time was pointed elsewhere, it flies true, severing the fuse, leaving John looking confused as a crossbow bolt flies straight
Get him.
through it.
Very well, sir. I shall
No.
arrest the suspect.
He then
Sneak up on him.
panics and tries to flee.
Oh,
I suggest
mega.
you stop in the name of the law, sir. Anything, if you do resist arrest, it will be used against you.
Smokey, thick him. Smokey, fetch.
Can I just do like Michael Myers? You know, sort of like when you run away from
him.
Yeah, just walk slowly and ominously. That's generally what happens in most horror movies. Yeah, he'll fall over at some point, and I'll just carry on walking at a slow, continuous
I
speed.
don't just stick my foot out as he runs past.
Well, at the moment, he's up on some scaffolding. So, our first question: are you going to try and climb the scaffolding? Bearing in mind
Is
that
there
this thing's
anyone
gonna-
off The
cart
scaffold.
up there.
The detective did clearly say stop him.
Okay, so that's a yes.
As a commanding officer has ordered me to stop the individual, I will do anything in my power to do so.
I
It's
don't
Just
think
make
you're
sure the
gonna.
dragons are safe.
Don't think you're gonna convince me otherwise that this is gonna be anything other than a D4.
I will have you know, I have exceptionally
Scaffolding.
nimble feet. I have monkey paws rather than
Yeah.
actual feet.
So this isn't about how nimble you are; it's about how sturdy this scaffolding is, with a cart full of dragons and a truck.
I have you know that I spent many years in the circus as a young boy, learning the
Ooh.
tightrope walk and distributing my weight across the length of the tightrope so that it didn't break.
Constable Misbegot Ampersands, could you please get to the carriage and try to calm down the drags as best you can?
Oh, if I must.
Just
I'll
get
give you a D6 just because it made me laugh.
Nah, I'm fine with I'm fine with a D4.
just for fitch and giggles.
I would
Well,
like to think that I am very lucky,
so you
and the
start.
consequences of my actions do not bring the bridge down.
You start trying to climb up, and it's not really taking the bridge down. This seems to have been erected for the purposes of lining up the explosives. There's an almighty crack as Constable Cliff gets about 3 rungs up and it gives way, sending him toppling into the Ankh itself. I'll let you roll a D2. Odds you don't break the surface.
And that's with the carriage on it.
Okay.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
flip.
you've broken the surface. No, this is just Cliff falling off the scaffolding at this point. So you've broken the surface, which is not a very pleasant thing to do or place to be. This emits a explosive gas, very pungent, horrible smelling. That's now drifting up into the area.
That's
Meanwhile,
another count added to the river that we need to arrest it for.
Oh,
Attempted murder of Cliff.
the cart full of dragons teeters on the edge. It could go off at any moment.
Well, flip.
Oh.
And on the other side of the scaffolding, Gunter the dragon has been dropped and is now shaking, very excited. It looks like his ticking clock has just been advanced.
Oh, fit. Well, I know where I need to go because I'm the one
Fly up
with the.
there, give him his fly up there, calm him down, give him the medicine.
I'm the one with the medicine, so I gotta do this. Oh, shit.
Control. I'm getting all these ones in this carriage before they explode. Calm down.
Yes, so, Burley, it looks like you and the detective are gonna have to catch the culprit.
Fine, that's on leg again.
What the hell has Igorina got about calming down a dragon and getting to take his medicine?
Stomp,
Brave.
stomp, stomp.
You're the heart of a lion.
Okay,
Two
Oh,
left
yeah.
feet, but the heart of a lion. Oh, good.
So it sounds like
Call
we've
it
got a
Edward
few
Edward.
groups at this point. So we'll have Igorina's going for Gunter.
Yep.
Surly and Bartholomew are going for John. And Cliff and Misbegot are going for the cart. Is that right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Cliff's-
yeah. If you want, I can try. Is the Ankh sort of like? Am I able to eventually climb onto the surface of the Ankh, then hold it up to try and push
Yeah.
the cart back up?
So it's kind of like you've broken through the ice, but it's not cracked the entire thing. You've just sort of
Yeah,
released a pocket of gas. So if a dragon
Yeah.
does go up at this point, it just means that the explosion will be bigger.
yeah.
I think that's referred to as the crust of the Ankh.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes. We've not got to the
So yeah,
mantle
you,
yet.
you can get back up onto the side. There's not really a lot.
Is going.
Come
Come on, little dragons, calm down. I don't like this.
Yeah, we'll start with this group then. Makes sense.
Would you like me to try and rock the cart so that it calms the dragons and puts them to a deep slumber?
No, thank you, Cliff.
So at this point, with Cliff's height, I'd say it's pulled it down enough that you'd be able to tug the cart off the scaffolding and stabilize it, stop it rocking, which may be causing some nerves in its side. If you want to go for a strength roll.
Yeah, sounds like something Cliff would do. I will gently lift the cart and place it down so it is now on stable ground.
Okay.
What do I have? I am simple, but I am not stupid.
Simple but not stupid. Yeah, I'd say you're pretty.
And I was also raised by loving parents who understood and nurtured me and cared for me in a way that made sure that I knew how to interact with small beings to keep them calm.
Yeah, that sounds good. You're definitely the face of the watch. Let's go for a D10. With a 6 to beat. Oh, Cliff is on it. Yeah.
Spectacular.
So rocking it looked like he would a baby troll's crib. Takes it down gently, lowers it to the ground.
Do not worry, Misbegotten Ampersands. I will take good care of you all. Rock-a-bye dragon on the treetop.
So that
When
will give
the
a
bow
boost
breaks,
to
the dragon
Misbegot.
will fly away.
So, Misbegot, you're now in a cart full of nervous and excited dragons that could go off at any moment. It's like a ticking time bomb. What have you got to deal with that?
Well, again, I'm just there. They all love me, and I'm, you know. But to be fair, he's got what is it? Doing nothing is not the same as not doing anything. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to sort of sit there.
Sit in the middle and be like, I am calming presence. All
Just
is
use the calming presence to let them all go, oh, I like him.
yeah.
Because they're looking at me, I struggle to move.
So I'd say that would have been a D10, but with Cliff successful, bump that up to a D12.
Brilliant. Oh.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Can I use some luck?
Yeah, you can absolutely use some luck.
How do I use luck? I haven't used it yet.
So you could lower the difficulty one level, which will allow you to add a D3 to that, if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll add D3. Woohoo!
Yeah, so that takes that being a success. There's a very nerve-wracking moment as one of the dragons on the outer edge of the cart looks a bit overexcited and very nearly coughs a fireball towards the Ankh. But just as he's about to do that, one of the others seems to squeak and get his attention, and then he notices the gargoyle sat in the middle of the cart and goes over to excitedly examine it and lick it. Make a new friend.
Yay! Friend, that's just dragon friend.
Okay, so that
Having
seems
a bunch of
relatively-
exploding kittens.
And all you can hear from outside is the gentle singing.
Gentle singing.
Go
of a troll.
to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little dragons.
Okay, so we'll move over to Constable Igorina.
Pray
Yes.
for me.
Climbed up onto the scaffolding and made her way over to an excited Gunter, who's his own little ticking time bomb at the other side of the bridge. So, what have we got to deal with Gunter?
2 left feet, but the heart of a lion. So braving the rickety thing just to try and get him to his medication.
You'd know
Also,
about anatomy, so you might know the best way to feed the dragon.
She's also
I'll say feed.
determination to prevent the need of an eagle's services. Any eagle can stitch someone back together, but few can prevent their patient from getting hurt in the first place.
Aha, yeah, there we go. That'll do me.
Yeah, that makes sense. And with the medicine, so you've got the right tool for the job as well. I think that's easily justifiable to be a 12.
Woohoo! All right. I'm just going to cross myself here for a moment. Okay, here we go.
Oh, critical success.
Hey!
Yeah.
Woot!
So you're able to keep Gunter calm enough as you make your approach. it's like he sort of recognises the medicine as well, and maybe even sees it as a treat at this sort of point because he gets it regularly enough, and people seem to bring it him and want him to take it. So he laps his medicine down and stops shaking and calms down, looking
Good
at you quite
dragon.
happily and curiously as to what you're going to do next, I suppose.
Now you come with me. Slowly. Come on, this way. This way. This way, you stupid animal. Easy does it. This is scaffolding, not a chew toy. Come on.
Okay. So then
Would you like to put him in the nice rocking cart?
That's what I'm aiming for.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, little dragon. Why
See?
no sleep? Why no sleep?
Please
See,
don't
all
throw
of your
that in the
friends are
axe.
having fun.
And look, there's a new friend in the middle.
Exactly. Gargoyle. Don't you want to be his friend too?
No.
Okay, so we're going over to Detective Bartholomew and Constable Surly. John at this point has been spooked and is well on the way to coming up with an escape plan of sorts. He seems to have noticed that there's a boat heading down the Ankh. He's got a rope in his hand and he's looking to swing himself out, getting ready to make his escape.
In the full traditions of my family, in a way that that every dwarven baker has ever done early in the morning
We got battle bread.
with their battle bread.
So you're gonna
When
throw some-
somebody has tried to steal their coffee, I am
so
going to draw my axe and charge at him in a fit of pure rage because the latest picture was smudged.
I thought you were actually going to hit him with bread for a second. I was like, you're actually going to get a battle loaf.
Full on just throwing a loaf at him.
But
I
since
thought he was gonna
this axe is obviously not here because I've blocked it, I will get the battle loaf without attacking the big battle loaf.
We started building it up, so.
It was my lunch,
Okay,
but now it's a weapon.
so
Oh god, it's like a deadly frisbee.
well, the first thing I'll ask the two of you is how athletic are you? How quick can you close the gap before he swings? Let's see if you can actually make it there first.
I'm going to probably not going to make it on the run, but I'm going to try reloading on as quick as I can and actually aiming for the rope. So trying to hit what I should be aiming at.
Okay, so you're aiming for the rope. Well,
To try and, like,
but
basically
you
to try to cut
want-
it so he
you
can't
want to
swing.
hit the rope rather than him.
Him, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's amazing how fast a dwarf can run when there's battle bread pulled out and they're calling upon all their ancestral knowledge of pure rage because of slight grudge and discomfort.
Okay, so I'll give Alex a D10 for his shot.
Ooh.
7 to beat. And I'll give
And I use a luck
Surly a
point.
D10 as well. Yeah. So that'll push you up to D12.
I'm gonna pull a luck as well.
You're going to use his luck as well, so yeah, I'll put you up to a D12 as well then.
Nice.
Nice, yeah. All round success there. So the shot twangs off and the crossbow bolt flies over Surly's head, striking true over the rope and taking that out in the same way as the fuse. This at this point seems to anger John. This is the second piece of twine that's been robbed away from him by the crossbow bolt this afternoon. His plan's really going down the pan. So he turns angrily to meet the oncoming Constable Surly, looking to fight him, I suppose, his face full of hatred as
And
he
bread.
gets ready to launch himself at the Watchman.
And then a piece of battle bread just smacks
Piece
him in
of
the
battle
face,
bread.
down like a sack of spuds.
Well, that's what this is going to come down to. So John's got a D8 on fighting, but how good is Surly?
Wow. This is his preferred weapon of choice.
His parents were bakers.
Baker parents, part of the watch. It's a traditional Ankh-Morpork battle bread with added iron and whatever else they're putting into it to give you the right additives, because that's good for your health, right?
You've always been examining the exhibit in the Dwarven History Museum since Captain Carrot showed it to you about traditional recipes of battle bread.
And we've been taking
That was
pictures
pulled from the
of things.
book.
Well,
We're taking pictures of these from various angles for ages because Carrot was quite obsessed with them and it got him off your back. Look at what I found. But you're on all sorts of things.
so what I'm hearing is you're quite trained and experienced. So yeah, I'm throwing that up to a D12. You've got him outclassed.
In which case, whack.
Oh.
Do you not spend
Oh.
up?
Can I throw my last look in it?
Yeah, go on then. I'll allow
Hey,
it. I'll do the D3 edition, same as I did for. Yeah.
Once again, just about.
Just about. So it looks as if for a moment he's about to take you by surprise. And now gets a good hit in. But then as you swing around the battle bread, you catch him full on the chin, sending him toppling backwards. He falls from the scaffolding, lands on top of the Ankh, and doesn't seem to be moving.
Well then, if my
detective, I think you're the best person to recover him.
yes,
We'll fish you out.
Fine, I am the most light-footed on this one.
Too warm for
Not
this
a lot of-
stuff.
You're not like suffocating.
No, I think I'm missing bits. I think I'm lighter than anyone else here. Apart from, no. The other one is small. Ampersands is small, but he's stone.
He's
I
also
am
busy.
stone.
oh, off you trot.
Yeah, I was doing it. I was like, you'd say he was doing it. So I was like, I didn't know if I was getting a roll or anything, or just going ahead.
Now can I have a roll, but how good are you at doing this?
And
He's done a lot of body retrieval in his mode.
There's a lot of body retrieval.
I was actually thinking, like, for sneaking up on bad guy on criminals back in the day. If you want to give them a good old 1-2, get your booting, you have to be a little bit light on your feet. Know how to like move your weight while sneaking up.
Okay.
You can't have it be a fair fight and they notice you.
we'll also tie a
I'm-
rope round him so we can pull him back up.
I'm gonna say it's a D10 because of the complexity of the Ankh and something heavy has just fallen on top of it. So it's a
Well,
little unstable.
suffocation risk.
Although it looks like you've beat me already. So
Yeah then.
let's see. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Draw
on
wins.
the money. Yeah, you win on a draw. So yeah, you managed to get out to him. He's a bit worse for wear. But is still alive. Just a few broken bones, broken jaw where the bread caught him. But yeah, you're able to drag him in and take him into custody. Not that he'll be answering any questions with a broken jaw, but who cares about that?
We can fix that.
it's
We
fine.
can write. We can make sure that his witness statement clearly states exactly what the watch wishes for it to state.
Exactly, and he definitely said it right.
Yeah.
We
If
all
you
heard
reject against this, please say no now.
it. Sounded like fine to me.
Igorina will
Yeah,
at
we
least make
take
sure that he's not going to die from his wounds. So
Please, can we take these dragons back now?
I am beginning to get quite attached to the dragons. My dragon on the tree top.
how about
Okay,
you
so-
continue that on the way back?
as the excitement dies down and the culprit's been caught, you manage to get the cart up and running, settle it all down, and head back to the Sunshine Sanctuary, and then back to the watch house to complete your report. So let's round up how we did, shall we?
Yes, please.
Okay, so were any dragons lost? I don't think they were. I think we managed to successfully find all the ones out there.
Yay!
No dragons were harmed in the
Success.
making of this roleplay. That's a good
We started off
success
slowly.
Yeah, it took 2 hours to find one, and then we found 11 in sort of
You
like 10
found-
minutes.
there. Yeah, you got Gunther his medicine, you found Smokey in the burning house, and you found the other 10 in the cart and made friends with them. So all dragons successfully returned.
Hey!
The watch is useful.
I
You
wouldn't go that
captured the
far.
culprit. You got enough evidence and things to prove his involvement, prove what he did. Not quite going to get a confession out of him at this point, but maybe in the future. But enough for the watch to care and prosecute. So John will be brought to justice. So, again, good success there.
Excellent.
Yay!
And Mr. Vibes, here's all the pictures, and Cliff has got the paperwork.
All this extra paperwork. Well, it's interesting that you should be mentioning that.
I would like to point out that Cliff is not particularly great at writing. Therefore, majority of it is written in crayon and may or may not be legible.
Well, we hope it's correct.
Providing no
Definitely
one
not.
looks closely, it is definitely crayon.
Oh
Okay.
God! Not a brown
So-
crayon, is it?
I have
Oh.
standards, please, Constable.
Well, overall, objective 1, find out what happened. It was an overall success.
Yay!
You seem to know exactly what happened. Maybe not so much on the why. We never made it to the stone on stone to
Oh,
discover what was going on there. But
Golems took his job.
yeah,
knew that.
you've got some drunken rants about Golems taking jobs, but
And Sarah actually, no, sorry, Rosie.
Rosie.
Rosie did
Sarah-
testify
I point
that the golems basically took his architecture job.
Yeah.
For the bridge.
but that's all assumptions. You've got no proof to that matter.
No.
Yeah, point. But
Um,
Caught in
but
the act.
overall,
We
you
can
don't
use
really
the
need to
witness
know why he did it. You just know he did it, and that's,
Yep.
that's all. That
we
really
can use witness testimony to spin the narrative how we best wish it to be span.
Exactly. So, number 2, protect the people of Ankh-Morpork. Wow,
We did that.
did we do that? I think there's a nice complaint coming your way.
well, yeah.
I would like to point.
Seller
At
of
no
coal.
point was he harmed in the rescue attempt. It was not my fault that he did not give consent for me to enter into the building.
We assisted
Well-
in putting out
Yeah,
a
we
fire.
prevented a disruption to the city by apprehending an individual that was drunk and disorderly in a public place.
As far as Mr. Nobler's telling it, he could have been killed and was. He's really trying to blow this out of proportion. The watch broke into his house, damaged his fine establishment. Tried to
was
bully
only
him.
like that.
Tried to bully him.
Remember,
Pointing weapons at him, threatened him. He's really
so,
going all out in his
so
complaint.
did we? I can't remember. Did we ever actually recover his carriage or not? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so his carriage was the one that had all the dragons in it.
No. I'm not sure if we actually recovered his carriage or not.
Well,
It
that's
has been-
also in
yeah.
the report. He was threatened with if he didn't do it in 24 hours. He
He
wasn't getting
didn't
it
didn't notify the watch that it had been stolen within 24 hours.
As
The
far
watch
as
was
he's
not
concerned-
obligated to investigate.
As far as he's concerned, he was threatened and he's put this paperwork in. In fact, it was taken over 24 hours ago. He has been dead longer than 24 hours. So you were on the money with that assumption. that his timeline is wrong because he was dead and came back as a zombie.
Right.
Ah.
Okay.
Who else did we have? Lamp and Needles. Are you going to return their property?
Yeah,
yeah.
there's no point in keeping that, is there?
Yeah, so no problems from them. The lady from the Times puts in a glowing review for you. She's been following you this entire time and made up an excellent news story.
Had
May
you
not be
just
true. The
pictures with her.
speak
Did
to
you say
you,
glowing or glaring?
glowing.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God.
You were a great heroes, fought a fire, took out a perpetrator, stopped a bridge from exploding. Full heroism. Yeah,
And
glowing
look,
review
I've
from the
got a
Times.
picture of this really cute dragon drinking a bottle of whiskey.
Yep, totally.
Miss Etting's got no real complaints about you. You didn't really upset her. She assumes that the damage in the house was done by the dwarves or the golems or the
Yes,
fire.
I did feed that.
Yeah, so she's indifferent, I suppose. Doesn't really report anything. Doesn't really complain about anything.
Nice.
Yeah. So overall, moderate success. Just angered one particular shopkeeper. So yeah, pretty good there.
Not bad.
Yay!
We could have angered a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Yep.
And don't cause any unnecessary paperwork. So
We never went to Stone
Um,
and Stone.
no,
No.
you actually cut down quite a lot of the paperwork, so you don't need to form a reason to why. You're just going to make that up and assume it.
Yeah.
Drank bad whiskey. Must be troll made.
So
Nice.
yeah, again, the only additional paperwork you caused probably balanced by what you didn't cause. Yeah, pretty good success on that, despite
Nice.
the complaint.
All right then. Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, that was
Pretty
most
good.
enjoyable, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Simple system. Works well, though.
just justify it and go along with it. That's
Yep,
quite right.
that's it. Justify it and roll some dice.
Us versus the system. Literally.
Yeah, it's definitely more narrative driven than
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
sort of like role driven.
I could
I
get into
can-
an actual game of this. I really could.
Yeah, it's quite a chilled game to do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think it'll be interesting to see character generation.
Yeah.
Because obviously
Yeah.
this is pre-generated characters, so how you actually come up with a character in this system could be interesting and fun.
That's whether or not the traits are going to be set or make them up, I suppose.
I mean, the test of this is also going to be is how approachable is it for new people that aren't actually familiar with the lore. So I'm only familiar with bits. Specifically, luckily for me, I know I have read through the full Guards series because I've not read too much else with it. That and Moist on Ludwig stuff. Actually, I have read.
I only really know.
I've read that one as well.
I didn't even know Discworld from the Discworld games way back when, with Eric Idle's voice going, "That doesn't work," over and over again when you try to use it.
Oh yeah, Racewin. And
I may have potentially every single book and named all my computers after Discworld locations.
Okay.
But we
Yeah.
haven't had to answer the Muntab question.
What?
Where the feck is Muntab?
Where the fuck is what? Sorry, feck is what?
Where the feck is Muntab?
All roads lead away from Ankh-Morpork, I know that much.
And none of us got Knurd.
No.
Nope.
Of course, you'll also have other locales like the Unseen University and
Oh, we didn't.
the library.
Oh no, I can't remember her name. We didn't bother the sergeant at the drum.
Yeah, Sergeant Anya.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
I mean, that wasn't really a goal, but obviously, she doesn't cause any more paperwork.
Yeah.
It would have caused more
Bothering
paperwork.
the werewolf sergeant is probably not the top of anyone's to-do list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, you didn't need to call upon her. I think she'd have been mostly useful around the boarding house or tracking if the tracking dragon had been exploded.
Yeah.
Okay then. Good point.
But yeah, didn't need to draw upon her at all.
Being a very narrative-focused game, I can see now, one of the questions I had was how would magic work, but if it's all down to traits, essentially,
Yeah.
then everything is handled that way, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's
justifying how good you are at it all.
Yes.
And wordplay.
And which spells did you put in your head this morning?
Basically, Blag It the game. The roleplay system, has it? Blag It the roleplay system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would very much like to thank Shaun for taking the reins on this one. I think he
Thank you,
did a
Shaun.
super job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It has been a good laugh tonight, yeah.
It has been a very good laugh, and in his way, it's a shame John didn't get to experience this, but in another way, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
So,
How is your list?
my lisp has now disappeared, as you can tell. I'm not hanging on to that.
Quickly throwing that away.
I need that lisp to go away because I have a Halloween special tomorrow, so yes.
I was going to say, you're not running Pathfinder, are you, in the evening? It's just
No, I'm
your
not. It
Halloween
is Star Trek Halloween tomorrow, so that's what folks can expect from me tomorrow. But in this case, thanks
and
again
you've
to
got ours
Shaun for
Tuesday,
stepping
don't
up.
we?
And
know,
yes,
we're back
Navis
during the
Star Trek
holiday.
is on Tuesday.
And you got my apologies for Tuesday.
Okay.
Why?
Because as I said last week, I'm not in the country.
Yes. I mean, you've done it.
I love it. Alex is like really
before.
aggressively like, why?
Just like dox yourself.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
Yeah,
don't
I'm
say
going to
it
give
like
everyone.
that.
Yes, I'm going to tell everyone what flight I'm on, and where I landed, where I'm flying from, where I land, what hotel I'm staying at, what my hire car registration is. If anyone would like to stalk me, I will be in this location at this time, and here is my ID for my tracking. If you really wish to follow my phone.
But don't
Following
worry, it'll be
conversation
notarized in the comments.
Yeah, Alex will just put it in the comment.
It's been censored for health and safety reasons.
Oh look, Matt, you've got one comment on the YouTube video of this version. Oh look, it's Alex commenting exactly where I am.
Nevertheless, thanks, my dudes, for turning up and helping us
Thank you.
promote this. Thanks to Shaun again for running this. Thanks to Modiphius for creating this. Interesting way of going about it.
Yeah.
So we will see folks tomorrow for Star Trek with another Modiphius product. In the meantime, thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.